Apparently not.
How much is that?
8. It's only 8.
Oh, it's only 8 bucks. Oh.
Sunday there's a
Yeah, there's some event tomorrow going on. But...
Yeah, Squall's having a
I think there's a legacy. There's an IQ.
There is a legacy IQ.
At Curio?
Cavern.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I might actually go to that.
You're on the phone.
Yeah, I knew it was something. Hey, Arturo. Yes. I know you're looking for old meddling mage or the new art mages.
I don't care. I'm probably gonna buy the old Japanese meddling mages.
Oh, okay.
What I'm looking for now is like foreign or diffusion slivers and shit. Foreign diffusion.
Jameson! I need $1.
Just said you're dead. Jameson, I need $1.
Dude, I need $1 too.
I need $1.
As long as we're handing out dollars.
I want my $2.
My one man in the dark room.
No, I had this thing called out. Oh, I forgot I had it called out.
Sort of like. I wasn't really paying attention. I just saw you pick up a jump again, so I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, technically, you're still alive because you had to play the LED. Well, the problem is you blow off our shit.
Sure, I'll try that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
That
it.
could be one of the last films. I played as my second.
Yeah.
Last one was the tutor. He has no opportunity.
Hey, how many rounds is it for?
It's gonna be 4.
Okay.
I play all my sports other than the LED. Right now,
Mind break trap. How does that work?
The third spell after the third spell you play, I can play this for free. And I get to myself enemies responses.
Check, check.
That seems pretty bad here.
A little bit.
What's its,
you have a tutor, you play LED.
I'm going to be bumping up the volume here to the microphone, guys. Let me know if it gets too loud. This is just an FYI in case you guys are turning your volume up.
We're gonna have to do things a little differently.
Test, 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 test. I'm going to try to get it to match the Skype volume because we're going to be getting some Magic celebrities in here to help commentate.
Oh, you're playing Vintage?
Got everyone for Legacy? That's a Delta.
I'm in there, right?
Hey, what's up, Bob? Hey, if possible, make sure you have headphones, by the way. That's going to cut down on
I'm using
some
yours. I plugged it into the USB, but it's not doing anything. Like, do I have to do something?
What, my headphone?
Yeah, it's like the USB one, the black and red one.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, yeah, how do I turn it on, I guess?
Yeah, I said you could borrow your headset. That's cool.
Sorry, I'm working on a whole bunch of setup stuff right now. I can help you out in a couple minutes.
Oh, whoa. I just turned it on, so... Okay, can you hear me, like, pretty well?
Yeah, you sound great.
Awesome. You sound great.
No, you sound great.
How many people they got?
It's almost a full house here, actually. It's a night-day difference from last week. It's awesome.
16. 15 crack Milton. Sure.
Hey, can you give me a quick mic check?
We're gonna get underground.
Bob? Hey,
And then.
can't hear you right now if you're muted.
Yeah. Sure. Gibson good?
Yeah, that's fine.
I cannot hear you, Bob, if you can hear me.
What? What do you think of Because I was talking about SD Short. What do you think I was playing? You can play about
Hey, Corey, are you still doing foils and stuff?
Yeah.
This is what this you can foil repeal. I picked one up for cheap. Zach gave it to me. If you want, you can have it.
Yeah, actually, I may or may not. Yeah.
You can just have it. Zach gave it to me. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is
I give it to
awesome.
somebody else if they're gonna use it. I'm not gonna use it. So.
Yeah, because I was actually considering running this in our Esper Mentor.
It's good. Yeah, because I figured if someone's gonna use it.
Yeah, I'll use it.
Yeah, well, like somebody gave it to me thinking that I still need oil, so that's why they gave it to me to use. So I'd rather it get used than it,
That's cool, man. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you.
All right. I also wonder how much these guys are worth.
Heyo, can you hear me?
Hey, babe.
Really?
How's the sound?
You sound really good. I can't hear Bob.
Okay, I can only hear him because he's in the other room. I don't think I can hear anything that's through a mic.
He says we sound like chipmunks. Just, let's see. He's probably got to go to options. Why do we sound like chipmunks? I don't know. He might just need to, like, leave the call and rejoin.
Legacy players! We're gonna start round 1.
Yep.
Alright, Sarah and Rory. Jameson and Bunden. Paul Lynch and Jordan. Arturo and Saul. Nate and Paul Marvenko. Billy and Dale.
Hello.
Hello.
How's the sound?
You sound good, so.
Okay. Bob, I can't hear you through Skype.
So plan was to pass back to you and then next round.
Yeah, just go to start with your Windows settings. Go to make sure you have your microphone for your headset set as your default audio device. Then go and import it into Skype under Tools and Options.
So, what operating system are you on?
It's on Windows.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know.
Go to hit your Windows key and type sound.
Huh? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, no, you're good.
And you should get.
So I guess you guys are both fine being on the stream and all that good stuff. Okay.
Okay, yeah, you're where you are.
Yep.
You're where you are.
Oh, okay. You know how to spell my last name?
Jordan. I'm sorry.
Berenhaus.
Just in case you need one. It's good. Okay.
Is that right?
B-E-S at the end. Oh, B-E-R-E-N. B-E-R-E-N.
How?
H-A-U.
Do you guys have like a store playmat with your logo or anything on it?
We have one with the old name. Yeah. But we are currently rebranding.
Well, what are you streaming as right now?
What are you going on? HQ.
Oh, okay.
That was the dope.
We'll have that Matt in the next week.
Okay, alright.
Alright, yeah, 50 minutes to make the game.
How much of this is on the screen? Okay.
It's just the dice here, 2 dice in are is the view range.
I didn't want to
Yeah, just keep that in mind for your graveyard. It's all good.
Well, I was just thinking Games and Stuff thing for, I didn't want to.
You're good.
How many people was that, by the way?
You guys have 13 years old.
Why, did you get the buy?
13.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. So this is invisible, right?
Right, yeah.
Hello? Is this working now?
We can hear you.
Yeah, hey Bob.
Okay, cool.
Great.
I guess, alright, perfect.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm gonna post this on Facebook and tweet about it. Is it Snapcasters?
Snapcasters plural.
Okay, cool. Are you live on Twitch yet?
Yeah, we're on
Yarp.
twitch.tv/Zapcasters.
Excellent.
Right, but in Enchantress.
And most of our other social network links are they add to you.
1 mana with any Enchantress effect. It's a draw 2 cards.
Okay, well I'll just post the Twitch link.
Oh, I need to share the screen. I'm a dumb.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, so we generally watch the shared Skype screen instead of the actual live stream because there's a time delay. So we want to be on the same time that Corey is.
Right, that makes sense.
Okay, it should be shared now.
Right, but well, no. Enchantress is a creature. There's also Enchantress version. Oh, right.
Oh, okay, right. I played against the guy, but I didn't even realize. I feel like people understand the circumstances. Yeah, you got it.
Hey, welcome to the stream, everybody. We're live tonight from HQ Games, formerly Chibi Games in Ellicott City, Maryland. And this is their round 1 of Legacy FNM.
One of my friends plays it.
That was
Blackjack.
Ellicott City, Maryland.
I had no idea. Sure, that's fine. Alright, you good?
So it looks like we have 5 viewers. It's going to be Diana Wren and myself, Bob Huang, doing commentary. Can you guys hear us all okay?
You're good. That'll be $500. Yeah, right. If I take him to a shot, that's exactly what I want. Yes.
Alright, I'm ready to. Okay. Sorry, I've been working on admin stuff here.
I'm gonna have it for a couple hours. I'll do like 45 minutes later. I'm outside. Want to find something with your chest? I'll show you when you get out.
Alright, starting off, we have some good underground C on C action.
Yeah. So after all that, now you're joining the team. Tammy, Brad, no, got it. Got it. Y'all want a guest? Guest D&D?
Alright, let's take a look. Looks like Deathblade versus Grixis Delver. Paul Lynch with his signature black bordered duels and beautiful cards as a beautiful man.
There's a Wasteland out of Deathblade. Hey, I don't see that frequently.
And there's 2 Wastelands out of the Delver deck.
Well, that's a bit more common.
Yeah, but I think Paul's in a solid spot. I don't know what he takes here. You could take the bolts, the probe, or actually any one of those cards seems
Yeah,
relevant.
Brainstorm or Deathrite seems very good.
I would probably take Deathrite if he didn't have a removal spell, or I could take Bolt if he really needed his Deathrite. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Okay, there we go.
So the other guy is just going to be wastelanding him for the next couple turns, most likely.
Right. Really not in a spot to find any colored mana.
Yeah,
Wow. That's a clean sweep of the board there. Okay, looks like Jordan managed to find a land.
dead yet.
I wanted to eat. I wanted to eat before we started.
Too late. Alright, let's fight. We must. Sure.
I'll play you.
You want to play me? I will play you.
That's a bit of a risky but necessary brainstorm there.
I don't think I like it.
Yeah, not necessary.
So I think 2 things. Okay, so he just drew the Volk. He didn't get a fetch land or anything like that, right?
Right.
I would definitely play the probe first, because that gives you the
I guess
highest
I'm a
chance.
card deeper.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
If not
so know what
breaking on your
Paul's on.
brainstorm. Although I guess, you know, like Paul's on Deathblade, so he's, I don't know how many wastelands he's running. It's possible he's running the full set, but more than likely he's maybe running 2. But basically I don't like the brainstorm there because like he had nothing to shuffle. I would have played the probe and then like maybe end step brainstorm. Like he wasn't going to cast anything.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I guess for me, it's just like the main phrase brainstorm when you like can't play another land seems really bad. The one thing it does get around is, you know, something like Spell Pierce or whatever, but I don't know if I would bother playing around that. I'm just more worried about not getting brainstorm locked.
Ooh, and a second thought seize.
Okay.
That's
What is that other card? Is that a Flooded Strand? Okay.
yeah.
So you found a land, so that's...
Yeah, he did find a fetch land. Still though, that's pretty awkward of a position to be in.
Yeah, as soon as like Paul shows up with a threat, you know, like a Stoneforge Mystic or a True Name Nemesis even, it definitely puts Jordan on the back foot a lot because he's, you know, supposed to be the aggro deck in this matchup.
Looks like Paul's sitting on a brainstorm, and what's that other card? Can you catch it?
Might be a Force of Will, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so Paul's actually, you know, not very... He's ahead on board by a Deathrite, but he's not really ahead on cards. So it's still anybody's game. Yeah, so I think he's going to go for a Deathrite Shaman and probably pass the turn back. And then the next 2 turns he can Wasteland Paul.
That's a Proxied Underground Sea?
Yeah, so I think it's the Moto proxy.
Gotcha.
So I guess HQ Games, they are allowing up to 15 proxies. Okay, so now he's playing the probe.
I don't agree with tapping the Volcanic Island.
Yeah, I mean, it's... I think if it was a matchup where your life total is more pressured, I would be okay with it. In this situation, like, there's so many cards you could draw. You could draw Bolt, Ponder. That would make you kind of like, oh, I wish I didn't tap the land instead. So I would probably pay the life here.
Right, and he's got, like, at this point, a solid grasp of what Paul is on because the cards that have been played definitively identify Deathblade.
What do you think Paul's going for here? Brainstorm? Or Spell Pierce?
Yeah,
so Paul does have Spell Pierce. Okay, that seems fine. Like, yeah, a card like Spell Pierce is not very good against Delver.
So you have to trade it off where you can.
Yeah, where you can, where it's convenient for you. So now it's going to be interesting. It looks fairly even. Paul has a Brainstorm and Jordan has 2 Wastelands. So, but as soon as like Paul finds something like a Stoneforge Mystic, though, Jordan's way behind and needs to answer it immediately. Although I guess he has a pseudo answer in the form of Wasteland. But
Paul's
I guess
sitting on a polluted delta.
Yeah, I guess Paul has Deathrite, so... Okay, so he found another Swords of Plowshares and a Deathrite, so that seems quite good. He knows about the Wastelands. So his priority is going to be, like, you know, making sure his mana base is still established. And it definitely is with the additional Deathrite Shaman.
Well, there's Tundra. I guess we take out Tundra first because of Stoneforge Mystic removal. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't really like the probe for mana, and I don't know. I think even using the yeah, sorry, I was gonna say using the Volk was also questionable because you can draw like Bolt or whatever, Pyromancer. I don't know.
That was such a disciplined Wasteland activation.
Yeah, he's actually tapping his Wasteland. I don't know too many people who do that.
While Paul's hellbent.
There's so many decks that have that.
What do you think of Jordan's playmat? What's going on over there? It's almost like
I can't.
the Oath Planeswalkers. Like it could be, right? Like Gideon, Jace, Nis. Oh, that looks like Liliana, and then Chandra
Liliana,
maybe.
Chandra. I can't tell who's on the
And then
far
maybe it
right.
could be Nissa on the far right. So it's like the Origins Planeswalkers, I guess. That could be it.
Yeah, I can see that.
It looks like a custom altar or custom playmat almost. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me, and some signatures along the sides.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Stifle, nice.
Oh, I did not recognize that stifle. I haven't seen a lot of that. The new artwork.
Okay, and Paul's okay with that because he had another land, so.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a big fish coming down. Would you call it a fish, do you think? What's its creature type?
It's a zombie fish.
Zombie fish. Yep.
This is a pretty zombie fish. Yeah. Your turn.
Thanks for adding me to the list of commentators, Corey.
Anytime.
Corey Fox Ponting.
15, 14, or 13, right?
Okay, so this is actually going to be a problem for Paul. He's going to have a couple turns to find a good answer for it.
Couldn't see what he picked up off the top.
Looks like a true
blue
name
card.
Nemesis. So that's a pretty. Oh, it's a Snapcaster Mage. Also a good answer.
Hey.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Making full use of those death rights there.
It's shaping up to be a good game. Nibble. 18.
No.
That's a good one for Paul.
Hey.
That's the ponder, and then you take cards for 4 life each, right?
Yeah, well, it's.
Is that usually in the main deck, Bob?
No, I don't think so. I think green is a pretty light splash, typically.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a very, very good card, especially against the deck.
Well, now I was actually just going to ask you who do you think has the advantage in top deck mode, but now the answer seems pretty clear cut.
Yeah, honestly, like, before he drew the Sylvan Library, I might have been favoring Jordan. He just has a few more live draws, a few more cantrips in the deck, I would assume. But now, Paul's going to have the card selection to keep going.
Right, that's just incredibly powerful. And the thing about Grixis Delver is I don't think they can deal with that in game 1 once it's on the battlefield. They can't remove it.
Nope. Most lists are not playing Abrupt Decay in the main, so I would agree. Okay, so that looks like a Batter Skull, a Scrub Land. I'm not sure what the middle card is.
Lands.
16.
See the
Actually, can I think about drawing the card? That's
I said everybody gets one. Next time I have to hold you through. Not a bad guy.
I'm not kidding. In Kyoto, where it's like,
I had someone try to do the one-time thing with fresh one. I fetched one down. This little shop. Yeah, I'm just going to fetch a judge. I can't do that. Dude, I have to like, he hasn't put up his deck yet, so they just follow. The guys
very culturally oriented.
I might have some stuff during.
okay. Well, I'm going to draw this
Well,
card.
I mean, inside.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
doing something.
So,
Okay, you're fine. The thing is, you can't cast it at any moment.
Do you have any guess what the players were just talking about?
I'm not sure.
And Paul was asking for priority checks here, and he had to count to see how much mana, see if he could drop an angler or not.
You have what, 3?
He needed to know if he wanted to eat on upkeep or not.
Ponder, Thoughtseize, Spell Pierce, Brainstorm.
I gotcha. Okay. Priority checks.
It's yours. End step. I'm gonna eat target Brainstorm. Or sorry, Spell Pierce. Eat target Spell Pierce. I will attempt to eat it instead. I will eat instead. Gotta try. Yeah. You have to.
Good old Deathrite Shaman dance.
I may have 4. No, I thought
You fetched it, yes. Library.
So I think Paul might be able to cast the Batter Skull next turn. I don't know if it's something. I guess maybe not, because if he attempts to exile a land, then Jordan can exile in response.
Right.
So
That
he still needs a
Death
couple
Rider's
more.
online. Do you think that would be your priority right now? Is getting the Batter Skull on the field?
Yeah, definitely. Paul's dodged a couple Delver flips, but as soon as that Delver flips, he is still going to be on a clock. Oh, well,
hey, there's
now the
True
clock's
Name
swinging the
Nemesis,
other way.
also
So,
an alternative.
oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Deathrite Shaman doing everything. Yeah, so I also would have kept the days.
Left Death right up.
Just in case you draw Force of Will. There are the days was used for not too much value. That said, he's pretty behind right now.
I'll eat Brainstorm.
Yeah, I'd say you should probably fire off a daze at the
I-
right opportunity, but maybe that wasn't it.
Yeah, and also right there, I also don't like the drain. He needs to keep the death right back to prevent
Right.
drains from the other way. I mean,
Well, with 2 Death Rights on Paul's side, it's a bit...
yeah, but see now Paul's the beatdown now because he has more creatures and more pressure. So Paul can go ahead and drain for 4 and attack for 5. Like, okay, so I guess he's trading there. But like Paul is definitely going to be advantaged in this race. So I kind of like leaving the death right more for defense.
Well, I would say, honestly, that even though it took a while for the results to show, Paul pulled massively ahead when that Sylvan Library hit the battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, definitely when that hit and they were kind of even, Jordan never really had a chance to catch up.
Paul's going to take that round.
Yeah, True Name's going to be a pretty hard card for Jordan to beat without Young Pyromancer.
I had some pretty. I didn't know if you were with that.
Or being ahead on board with the Delver, etc., etc. Cool.
This would be called Money in the Bank.
So what do
Alright,
you
so-
anticipate the sideboard plan to be for each of these decks?
So I think I know Jordan's side pretty well. I've played Grixis Delver a lot. I think you're going to try basically board out some of your soft counter magic. So what I would do, at least, I would board out probably 2 to 4 Force of Wills and 2 to 4 Dazes, and then bring in some more generically good cards. So I like Cabal Therapy, and I see that he's bringing that in. So I like Therapy because Paul's playing Stoneforge Mystic, and you can just get so much value. I'm not too sure what else he has in his board, but generally, like removal, that's going to be able to kill True Name, is going to be solid. I don't know if he's playing anything like Painful Truths, but I would definitely bring that in here as well because Paul's kind of slow and doesn't have a good way of punishing him.
What do you think Paul's priority should be?
So Paul's priority, he's a controlled, and I think he's just trying to stay alive. In the long game, Stoneforge Mystic, Jordan can kill the Stoneforge Mystics, but eventually, he might have some equipment left over, or have a True Name that goes unanswered. So Paul's priority is just to stay alive. So I assume he has a little bit more removal to board in. I would expect cards like Zealous Persecution to come in. I think he would probably take out. I think I would definitely take out the Thoughtseizes. This matchup's kind of all about board presence, so Paul just needs to make sure he doesn't fall behind on board. So I take out Thoughtseize, and then I might take out a couple forces as well.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'll be in the play. Okay. I'm up to game. Yeah, that was a good game. Very interactive back and forth game.
So did you guys wind up getting sushi?
We
Yes.
did. It was delicious.
Yeah, I actually managed to miss your phone call and Bob's text, but he made the perfect choice.
What was
Awesome.
I'm sorry?
that? What did he get you?
Oh, just a bunch of generic rolls. There was like a dragon roll and some tuna and salmon. Just, you know, solid takeout sushi.
Yeah, it's really hard to go wrong with sushi.
You know, I actually didn't used to be the biggest fan of sushi, and I don't really know what changed, but like one day I was like, whoa, this stuff is legit.
You grew up,
Cool
sir.
story.
Niraj is asking if sharks have bones.
We've been over this, Niraj.
No, Niraj, they have cartilage, okay? Like,
Yeah, obviously. But see, Bob knew this all along.
is that Paul and Jordan talking about sharks?
Yeah.
Oh no, this discussion is spreading.
It's a long story. I'll tell you after this. It's hilarious though. You're gonna love it. Trust me.
Is it hilarious? I don't know that it's hilarious. I'd be surprised if you could tell this story in a funny way, but
I don't know. I think Corey is the kind of person that's easily entertained, and then his enthusiasm is infectious. So
okay,
I
that's
think
true. I could see that.
that allows other people to enjoy these things.
All right, looks like they're shuffling it up. And Jordan is leading off the polluted delta.
Ugh, he's fetching immediately. Now, why do you think he does that?
So it's highly unlikely that Paul's playing Stifle.
Right, that would be quite the sight.
It would. There really isn't too much of a reason to fetch there, but there isn't that much of a reason not to either, so try not to read too much into these things.
I'm just curious. Wondered if the illustrious Bob Huang had anything to say about it.
Yeah, so the key card early here that Paul's thinking about is Stifle. He's trying to figure out the best way for him to maneuver and play around it. Alright, looks like he's just going to go for it.
I think it's very hard to play around once your opponent's on the play and hasn't missed any land drops.
Alright, let's see if Jordan has... Ooh, yes!
Wow!
Wow!
That's a rare sight.
Alright, well...
And
So
very
this is
interesting.
one reason why on Paul's side, like, I would be okay with keeping in a couple forces just to, you know, avoid this exact situation. I'm guessing, or, you know, thinking it might be possible that Paul has a Spell Pierce or something along those lines in his hand, but now that's even... Actually, no, I would have sided out Spell Pierce, so...
Yeah, you
I don't know.
got the role of soft permission in this matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So I see a Stoneforge. I'm not sure what else I see. So on Paul's side, I knew he did have a Wasteland. So one thing he could have done differently is he could have, you know, tried to bait a Stifle with a Wasteland instead. Okay, looks like he's rearranging his Brainstorm. What was I going to say? So yeah, he could have baited the Stifle with the Wasteland instead, and I think he knows that. So I think it's... I'm not sure what's in his hand, but it's possible that he like kind of decided that
It's a judgment call.
he was okay with losing a fetch land to Stifle. We'll see though. Okay, no, Paul's just way too far behind, and he knows like it's going to be a really tough game for him to catch up, so he just scoops it in. Yeah, that's the card Stifle. It can win you the game on turn 2.
That was a very uncommon and exciting thing to see. The double stifle.
I just didn't get giveaway. Yeah. I knew it was a giveaway, but at the same time, I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, so for me at least, in my opinion, Stifle's a card that either, kind of wins you the game on the spot as you saw there, or kind of, gets stranded in your hand and doesn't really do anything. So when I play Delver, I generally try to avoid cards like that. Now I understand there, obviously there's a ton of synergy with Stifle, Daze, Wasteland, Deathrite, Delver. So I think it's definitely defensible to play Stifle in Grixis Delver. Personally, I don't like doing that because I hate the feeling of like having cards that don't do anything. So I always just go for like, my deck's going to be cheap creatures, removal, and counter magic.
Now, what do you think of those decks that try to hedge their bets by playing not the full set of Stifle, but maybe 3 of them?
Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah, like I don't know. I'm not sure like what's quote unquote like strictly better or mathematically better, because the advantage of having less is that you'll have fewer stranded, but then you won't have it early often. So
Right, in those explosive first few turns when it makes a big difference.
yeah. All right, looks like Paul's gonna keep his 7, and Jordan's gonna go ahead and send it back.
Wow. Which is right. That's statistically improbable.
That's like half the creatures in your deck.
Yes.
Not more.
Yeah. I think it's one less. It's one more.
There's also a pretty quick concession from Paul over in game 2. So I understand like it's quite possible he had no more colored sources and just didn't feel like playing it out.
Mm-hmm.
But there would be
So it was
a couple cases where he would be able to fight back from that position.
Now, considering that Deathblade might have some slower matches, do you think it's justified to try to get that Game 3 win?
I think this is just my guess based on my knowledge of Paul. But he just like he knew he was like low chances to win the game, and he didn't want to just sit there and get beat down and drag it out. This is a fairly low stakes game. I think maybe for a higher stakes game he would have sat in for a little bit longer. But I think that's basically what it was. I don't think he's too worried about the clock, as he could have easily taken like 5 or 6 minutes it took Jordan to kill him to end that game.
Sure, and there's definitely an additional dimension to tournament play when it comes to thinking about the strategy behind concessions and other tournament-specific actions.
Agreed. So it's more than just the game itself necessarily. I'm gonna expect a lightning bolt here. If Paul gets to untap with the Deathrite, it's gonna be huge. Like Deathrite's so good against the tempo decks because it's neutering the mana denial plan extremely effectively.
Oh, absolutely, and turn 1 on the play, that's a very strong start.
Yeah, and in the plus, it's even a little bit better because Jordan has some delve spells.
There's that lightning bolt you were looking for.
And looks like Paul's going to go ahead and jam Stoneforge here, so he's kind of, making sure Jordan has all the right answers at the right times. And if he ever, misses a beat, it can be pretty hard to get back from.
So far in lockstep at the right time, all the time.
That's something, yeah, that's not a splash.
White's not the splash, that's real.
So, yep, I agree. Having the days there was definitely better than, not having anything at all. That being said, he's the aggro in this matchup, and he's not been able to develop his board. So Paul's like probably okay with this, and Paul has a reasonable amount of threats left in his deck.
Yeah, it certainly puts Jordan in a defensive position because he couldn't he couldn't choose to not answer those threats.
So I think I saw another land and a GT. Is that like maybe Scrubland, Wasteland, GT? I'm not sure. If that's Paul's hand though, then it's fairly weak.
Right. It's gonna take a while to do anything at all.
But we'll see. Well, the Wasteland's not bad here actually. It just sets almost like a time walk. Okay, looks like he's going for a true name. I think Jordan has force. Oh, no.
So what are Jordan's options to answer the true name on board?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. There's a couple different cards he could play. Problem with the Grixis Delver is it doesn't really have the great mana base, so it doesn't have cards like Golgari Charm are probably out of the question. It could play something like Marsh Casualties, but even that's kind of iffy. So I'm actually really not sure.
So if you were building a deck list, do you think it's important to make sure that you have something that can answer True Name Nemesis, or is that just the kind of thing that's like try to avoid it resolving?
Yeah, I mean, there's only two ways you can go about it. I think, ooh, wow, this is gonna be a game right here if he gets the equip
Gonna
off.
be very difficult to deal with.
Like I can only think of a couple things. Like Ancient Grudge would be the
Ouch.
would be the main
Add
card that I
Exalting
see out of
right
Grixis
there.
Delver that could answer this combination. So Paul's kind of putting Jordan on having Ancient Grudge, in the next turn or two.
Yeah, I should have called X-Blazer to have an extra bit of damage push out.
Yeah, so back to your original question, having an answer to True Name. I think, if this were 2014, late 2013, then absolutely I would, err on the side of playing a card that deals with True Name. That being said, Stoneblade has dropped off a ton in popularity. Blue-Red Red Delver's almost nowhere to be seen, and the other Stoneblade variants, they kind of also relied on Dig Through Time, and they're not very common anymore. So I'm okay not having, a good answer to True Name other than, Pyroblast or Days or whatever. Okay, so it looks like he doesn't have the Ancient Grudge here.
And it's when it attacks that you get the two, right? No, it's whenever he's down. Okay, so I can block it. Right.
Hey.
Paul is just merciless.
Right. That's a
22.
unrelenting amount of pressure there.
You're at 22 right now.
Yeah, so I think last turn there might have been an argument for
19, right? Yeah, and I'll put 2 counters on
I'm trying to think. I think last turn there was an argument for just going Swords Your Death Right, waste your red source to keep Jordan off Ancient Grudge. But yeah.
Yeah, every
think we're-
single turn.
Yeah, it's clear that Jordan didn't have Ancient Grudge at this point, and I like what he did. And that's gonna be a game. So yeah, I did see the Force, but he didn't have a blue card to pair with it. And then one last note about the True Name Nemesis is if you can get the initiative with Pyromancer and just flood the board with tokens, you don't really care about True Name. So I think it's okay not to have a good answer to True Name.
That's a fair point, but there's still that combination of True Name and GT, which
Exactly.
is difficult for any Delver deck to deal with.
Yep. So that's why Grixis Delver typically plays one Ancient Grudge.
So are they conversing about their sideboarding options? Yeah. Let's see what
Yeah,
they
looks
have.
like it. So it looks like Paul brought in some more removal. As I guess he brought in Verdict too, which is a nice one. Abrupt Decay is an interesting one. So it seems like Paul's build might be playing a little bit more green than
Yeah,
the
that's
traditional
what I suspect.
lists.
I see a drop there. So I wonder
Yeah.
how many.
I was thinking of bringing in Well Therapy, which would, if I knew your deck better, I would have.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I guess.
Oh, okay. So that's what I thought. I thought I saw him take out a Jace, and I wasn't sure if I caught it out of the corner of my eye. I wanted to ask you what you think the role of Jace is in this matchup.
Oh yeah, I think Jace is not the best against Grixis Delver. Again, it's it's bad against Pyromancer, which is going to be the best threat against you most of the time. Yeah, I think Jordan might be a slightly newer player. I think I heard him talking about not bringing in the therapy because he wasn't sure exactly what to name. But I think therapies would have been quite strong here. I'm surprised Paul didn't take out the Thought Seizes.
once they get up to speed, they'll get
Maybe it's kind of like the stifle principle. They're good early on, and just try to have them.
4-mana double boomerang.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a liability against Delver, but
But yeah, like in this matchup,
I could also, you know, just
want to bring in like Ancient Grudge.
have a different opinion than
You
Paul.
get one problem. Yeah, I do. You bring in, you get Ancient Grudge. Generally, you shave down your forces or your bases just because in situations like that where it shows, like, if that's like a required spell or another creature, it's like if you have a bolt.
Is it like actually casual REL? Like, are you allowed to have a casual REL event with proxies?
I
Yes.
believe that's how you do it. That's the only way you
Yep.
can do it.
Well, I figured like either
I didn't see a stone.
it could be, or I don't even know if like Wizards even allows proxies in casual. I guess was my question. I guess
I
they,
know for sure that the Legacy Weekly I used to play at operated this way, so we recorded all games as casual.
I bring in my red blast. Yeah, I bring in like 1 or 2 red blasts because I'm.
Yeah, that's why you don't get like planeswalker points. You get like 1 point.
You
around,
get one
right?
flat planeswalker point for playing the event.
gotcha.
And especially with this deck because I lose
Cool.
a lot of times off my counters and brainstorms because of my mana base. Right. So like if you get
Has to be unsanctioned.
Okay, awesome. We got 37 viewers. What is the highest view count you've gotten, Corey?
Oh, that was probably during the Legacy Quest for Power. We hit like 120 something.
Yeah, we broke 100 viewers, which I think was pretty cool.
That is awesome.
But that being said, it was
Hype.
kind of during the afternoon on a weekend, which is when a lot of people might, be having a slow afternoon,
Yeah,
tuning
it was
into
like
streams.
a Sunday evening. It's primetime TV. Yeah, any Storm.
Sorry. 2-1. Sorry, 2-1.
I'm not sure. I haven't got to look around yet. If you guys want, I can scope out the room real quick. I'll be right back, right?
Sure.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm gonna take a break myself. I will be right back though. I'll keep the people entertained.
I'll do my best.
See what's going on.
Yeah, there's a few Storm players here tonight. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but there's like 1 or 2 floating around.
Is that you, Paul?
Looks like it's a pretty healthy mix. Some Meathooks, Deathblade, Grixis Delver, Nick Fit, Storm, Rug Delver, Lands. Pretty good mix floating around tonight.
Interesting. So I think a couple viewers are saying that it can't be casual REL if it has any proxies. So it has to be unsanctioned. So I don't know if that's correct. It's probably correct.
Hey guys. Hey Bob, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, could you hear me just now?
Yeah. You were talking about the proxies and stuff.
Yeah.
As far as I know right now, it's pretty. Yes, Meathooks is slivers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not being sanctioned tonight. Just to get some people in. It's a pretty new store. They're trying to they're trying to drive up Legacy a little bit. So it's working so far, though. They've
Yeah, that makes
grown-
sense.
Yeah, like the first week, I think they had exactly 8. The second event, they had 10. Now we're at 13. So it's like every week it's getting like slightly more and more people are coming into the store. So
Cool.
it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Arturo and Jameson.
Cool. And we got round 2 pairings. So get ready for some more action in a minute, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul.
All right, no problem, Bob. See you later, dude.
The box is like 60 now. Paul Lynch is good luck, Paul. I'm not kidding.
Hey, Corey.
Mango and Jordan. Sarah and Dale.
What's up, man?
Hey, Corey. Corey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Can we get Jason on camera?
Oh, we
Okay,
already got the feature match lined up.
Okay,
We can
cool.
get him on next round.
Sweet. I like his deck.
Hold on, who's the feature?
J Petty. What have you playing right now? I think the best deck is Miracles. I personally wouldn't play it, but that's what I think the best deck is. And I'm really hoping that they ban Top in January because I really haven't been playing Legacy. It feels kind of, I don't know if solved is the right word, but definitely like, you know what the major players are. And it feels like it hasn't changed too much, and I think banning Top would definitely, bring a lot of new decks into the fold. So I think Miracles is the best deck. I think the deck I would play right now would still be Grixis Delver. It's got a slightly bad Miracles matchup. That being said, it's Legacy, play what you know. I think a couple other strong options would be Storm and Lands.
I'm sorry.
HELFRICH.
CH. Okay, cool. And you're playing Billy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, looks like we got my deck back on camera, Grixis Delver. It definitely has really taken over. I think Rug Delver was the most popular Delver deck, you know, ever since Innistrad was printed up until maybe 2014 when, you know, Team America Bug Delver started really taking over. I guess there was also a period of time where Blue White Red Delver was very popular after Owen's win. But Bug Delver actually had a great matchup against Blue White Red Delver, so then Bug Delver slowly took over. And then I think since the printing of Treasure Cruise, you know, it was obviously Blue Red Delver.
Really like that. So I saw the picture for that online.
And then once...
Because you got Clug to do that one, right? Yeah, that's where I saw it.
That's also why I have a Liliana the Veil on my side.
Nice.
She got me that as well.
Cowboy Bebop's one of my favorite animes, actually.
That's Samurai Champloo.
Or yeah, that's what I mean. Samurai Champloo. Same studio, but yeah.
And Mugen is Spike.
Right.
Same voice actor.
Yeah, Steve Blum.
He's awesome. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
He's all over Mass Effect. He's on a...
He does lots of video game stuff.
He does all kinds of stuff. He's on a hip-hop album.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
What the fuck was the name of that album? There's an album that came out very recently. And, yeah, it's like... It's like one of those kind of concept albums where they're like the background of the album is these two guys are in a spaceship like in the far future and like Earth is destroyed and like that. But so he's one of the guys in the spaceship.
Gotcha.
And
That's
like
cool.
they're listening to the album as like a classic album.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm listening to the classics right now. It's like a brand new album. It's hilarious.
Where's Billy at? Is he smoking?
Yeah.
Hey, Corey.
Hey, what's up, Bob?
What is Billy on? Is it Nick Fit or?
I'm not sure. I'm thinking he was on what he was playing before.
Okay, and that was like
Junk Nick Fit. Yeah.
junk colored Nick Fit. Okay, cool.
I don't know. I don't know what he's playing tonight. Tonight? Okay.
Do I have to use this?
What?
Do I have to use this?
No.
All right, I'm gonna use it anyway.
Was Billy asking about like the playmat or?
Yeah.
Okay. I think pink suits Billy well. You know, his good old, what is that, like a skull tattoo?
That is the Mandarin logo.
Oh yeah?
From Star Wars, sir.
No, isn't it from, I thought it was from Marvel.
What? Oh my god, Bob, please stop talking. Jesus Christ. No, get on. He's like, is that a skull on Billy's thing? And I was like, that's the Mandarin logo. Mandalorian logo from Star Wars. But it's the same. It's from Boba Fett. Or yeah, it's like what Boba Fett's. Right. So
okay.
Bob was saying it was from Marvel, and I was like, no. That's all right. That's okay, Bob. We still love it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Wow. So it looks like Billy's got some spicy things going on over there. I see a Pernicious Deed. That's a card I haven't seen in Legacy, you know, in years. I believe the last time really was like, you know, something in like Bug Landstill that PV top 8'd in GB Providence in 2011. Also saw a Volrath Stronghold, so that combos really well with Veteran Explorer. Veteran Explorer is a 1/1 green creature where if it goes to your graveyard, you get to search your library for 2 basics, and so does your opponent, and put them directly into the play. And then, you know, Volrath Stronghold is a sack outlet for that. It lets you sack a creature for 2 black mana.
That's the question.
Sorry, actually, I guess I mean Phyrexian Tower is a card I was thinking of. Volrath Stronghold puts your creatures on top of your library. I think he might be playing both, but he's definitely playing Phyrexian Tower. Alright, cool. We get to see what's going on. So, Jameson leads off with the probe. We got some Painful Truths, a Pernicious Steed, a Cabal Therapy, a Taiga, a Wooded Foothills, I think, and a Forest. So, again, in this matchup, Jameson is going to be the aggro.
Yeah, actually, that'd be great.
And Billy's basically just going to try and survive and long enough to cast his Siege Rhinos.
How much is it? Okay.
Looks like Jameson's going to hold up a Stifle. Yeah, or not. Looks like he's going to go ahead and play the Delver. So from Billy's side, I would almost go ahead and fetch now. Nope, looks like he drew a Deathrite Shaman. So yeah, his decision basically is whether or not to play around Stifle, and he can fetch now to do so, which I think would probably be. Nope. Okay, he's gonna go ahead and play the Deathrite Shaman off of Forest. So the thing with that play, that lets him play around Wasteland. So. Alright, Delver went ahead and flipped, so Billy's going to be under the gun really fast. He might try and land the Pernicious Steed this turn. Or he might go for the Painful Truths. Or he might go for the Therapy. I don't know. There you go. I would go for Stifle here, because you want your Pernicious Steed and your fetch land abilities to resolve. But actually, no, never mind. He saw the Force, so I'd go ahead and just take it away. You always take away the card you know they have, so. Oh, he went for the Stifle, and that's a hit.
Boom! Blind Therapy's count 1.
Alright. I think Stifle would have been the smart name. And it was the card he really needed to get out of Jameson's hand if he had it. So, that's what he went for.
No, that's not what I need. What I need, what they need, they need a null spell. Then I can take out more creatures for you. No, that's not. What are you talking about? You can't have that.
No, that's not okay.
That is not okay.
I already know about it, so whatever.
Okay. So I think Billy's priority is going to be to get that Delver off the board. And then, gas up back with the Painful Truths. In Jameson's position, he has a Force of Will, so I think he kind of just sits and protects his Delver.
I should have sided in the other two.
Okay, so he's going for a fetch land now during Jameson's end step, which means that he's going to need to get a basic. So perhaps a mountain here. Although that doesn't, I guess he could cast Deed off the Deathrite. Yeah. Or he might be going. Looks like he's eyeing a Scrubland.
No, your hand's fine.
I want an SC Jack. That's all I want. I'll be super happy with yes.
I was waiting for the result.
I thought you still run
Okay, so I think he might have drawn Culligan's Command, so I think he should definitely go for Pernicious Deed here, but we'll see what he does.
Flashback ball therapy targeting.
Oh, okay, so he's gonna go for taking away his force of will first. Storm. I don't think I like that play from Jameson because Billy's almost definitely gonna name Force of Will. And Jameson already had a Spell Pierce in his hand, so I think he should have just let Billy take the Force, but we'll see what happens here. My guess is Billy's gonna name Force. My guess is Jameson's gonna put his 2 forces on top. Billy's gonna name Force, and then Billy's gonna go ahead and resolve a Colligan's Command if that indeed is the card I see. If it's another card, then maybe he would go ahead and just play the Pernicious Deed and get rid of the Delver. Okay. Oh, wow. Interesting. So, Jameson is going ahead and, yep, so that is a Colligan's Command, and alright, that's fine. Billy's okay with that exchange. Although he does need to answer the Delver. But once he does, you know, Jameson has just spent 4 cards on Billy's, you know, 1.5 cards, basically. So Billy's way ahead in the card advantage race. He just needs to find some way to clear the board. And I think he drew... Okay, so he drew Veteran Explorer. Okay, see, the problem with Billy's lines is he never was able to get a black source, and he lost it. Oh, well. He found his black source off the top of his deck, so that's good. Last card in hand is Painful Truths. Okay, so now Billy's down to 5, so he's definitely in burn range. I don't even think he can afford to cast that Painful Truths. So he really needs a Siege Rhino soon. And it looks like Jameson has some pressure to apply with a Deathblade. Yep. What is that card? Looks like another Colligan's Command. That's a good redraw. I definitely would have returned the Deathrite because the Deathrite's going to be able to gain some life and put you out of burn range. Instead, he just, you know, made Jameson discard a useless daze. Like, of course, it's easier for me to say, you know, knowing everybody's hand.
Pick a world. Pick a world. We're gonna make you a deck now. Okay, don't even give me that. You want to? I can pull the deck right out of my bag. Okay. We need to expand the. Yeah, we are. Let me just shut this thing up. Yeah. What? What is he for? Did I stop?
Thanks for the follow, Fluster Storm. You've ruined many of my combo days, by the way.
If I use the movers in order to obviously get to the center, then you want to loop them in order to build gauge and stop penetrate. With I mean, I build so much gauge that I can use easily in order to deal with
Oh, Garrick Relentless off the top for Billy. Definitely a good draw. Now he's going to be able to make some 2/2 wolves. So that's going to be very strong.
2/2 wolf.
Wow, that has got to be one of the strongest wolves I've ever seen. Oh, those are some timely top decks from Billy Buttons. Woo! Swag Tust. Alright, this game's over. I'm ready to call it now. I think previously Billy didn't quite have the pressure, and Jameson had the a good chance of just stop taking enough burn. With a Thrag Tusk, that's definitely out of the question. This is also going to be 9 damage coming at Jameson, so he's actually dead next turn. With a Siege Rhino, that's going to put him down to 1, so yeah, he's
13 years old.
Yep, and Jameson's seen enough. Backing it up. Yeah, so Billy's deck is a Nick Fit deck. It's really based around ramping with Veteran Explorer into silly cards like Siege Rhino, Garruk Relentless, Thragtusk that you just saw, and it relies on Cabal Therapy for disruption, and cards like Pernicious Deed and Abrupt Decay to stay alive.
Oh!
So what do you think about this matchup, Bob?
This is one of the matchups I haven't played.
Really?
Surprisingly enough, yeah, I would say that Jameson has Stifle, which is really, really good in this matchup. As much as I like to hate on the card Stifle, there's just so many live targets here. Hitting a land is huge. Hitting the Veteran Explorer trigger is huge. Hitting a Deed activation is also huge. So I think I like Jameson's side of the table.
Is Diana still around, or is she AFK?
She took the dog out.
Oh, okay.
I think she just got back.
Because I think Dylan was messaging me asking if he can join us. For commentary.
Which Dylan?
Dylan Cole.
Dylan Cole. Let me ask Diana.
Oh,
Are you
she's out
going
walking the
back?
dog right now.
Okay. Diana's joining the call again, so
Okay.
maybe maybe in a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Katana Bob's doing commentary. Katana Bob
y'all.
is
doing commentary. I'm
Welcome back.
Yeah, I was walking the dog, and no, that's not a euphemism for anything.
What would that be a euphemism for?
It was a joke, Bob. Plus, didn't you listen to me? I said it's not a euphemism for anything.
Okay, but that's implying that it could be interpreted as an euphemism.
Maybe you should try listening more closely to what I'm saying. I'm joking. It was a joke.
Taking a poop.
Yeah, that's not a bad suggestion. That's what I'll
Thank you,
say.
Dyko42.
That's Dylan. Yeah, I think I might use that one next time. Sorry guys, gotta go walk the dog. So, it looks like, well, I'm late to the party. You guys caught all the action. Looks like that's Bill
Game one was awesome. Billy was able to blind name Stifle, and then thereafter clearing Jameson's board of Deathray and Delver with a Pernicious Deed, and then following that up with a top deck Garuk Relentless into a top deck Thragtusk to put him out of burn range, into a top deck Green Sun for Siege Rhino for the win.
That's kind of the ideal sequence of events for a green deck, huh?
Definitely not where I would want to be from the other side of the table, as a Delver player. So I gotta imagine Billy's deck has a great Miracles matchup. Just like Garuk, Thragtusk, just like card advantage that makes it really hard for Miracles to deal with. And actually, Thragtusk is one of the few cards that Miracles, that few creatures that Miracles has trouble dealing with, because it's gonna cost him 2 cards regardless, because it leaves a creature.
I think pushing that power spectrum up into like the higher cost, more mid-range creatures is something Miracles would have trouble deal with, because it's very tuned to the customary legacy deck, right? Like low mana curve, small creatures.
So it looks like Jameson knows that Mana Denial is going to be the name of the game here, and a Veteran Explorer is just going to ramp Billy way too far ahead if he has anything like Cabal Therapy.
Certainly, I thought that's a threat to any deck sitting on the other side of the table.
Looks like Billy even had the Phyrexian Tower too, so he was definitely going to be able to get 2 free lands out of it.
Something very big, very fast. That's sneaky across the table tap. Just reminding him you gotta spend mana for that Cabal Therapy.
Wow, this is about to do really bad for me.
Nobody ever uses that.
16. I'm sorry, 13. I have you at 12. Yep.
Is it a...
Yep.
Oh, Billy's under the gun now. He's definitely going to be hoping to resolve like a deed next turn, or something, you know, along the lines to kill 1 Delver.
Yep.
Oh,
wow.
That might just be too much. We'll see.
Now, did you already remark
I
on this?
see a
Is that
Sigarda.
Is that an Abrupt Decay? Abrupt Decay.
Is that a swamp? I guess it's a swamp.
It is.
Okay, cool.
Oh, are you talking about on the battlefield?
Yeah. It looks kind of like
it's a
forest.
Zendikar swamp.
Cool. Alright, it looks like Billy's going for Cabal Therapy. See if we
I'd
can
have
get
to
that
guess
Force
that
Will.
you would name that Force of Will, yeah.
Wait, what just happened?
That was a very...
Oh, so he made a token out of it. I still don't like that play
I
because...
can't say I agree with that. So I think it's so likely that Billy would have named the Force that Ponder would have been a better way to make a token.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this way the token can attack next turn. Okay, so now that puts... So if Jameson attacks with both, I think I like probably attacking with just the Elemental. Depends on what he drew. I would definitely attack with the Elemental at least, because Billy has a Phyrexian Tower, so the Veteran Explorer is going to be able to ramp Billy either way. So I think I'm okay attacking with the token, and I don't think the extra point... Well, it looks like he's going to go ahead and trade off his Pyromancer. And he gets an extra point out of it, which puts Billy to 5, but I don't think that changes the clock full way.
I don't like that. I guess the Veteran Explorer has to go sooner or later, considering that the tower's in the battlefield. Yeah.
Yeah, that was what I was saying. So I think it's
damned
okay.
if you
I think it's okay attacking with the Elemental. I don't really like attacking with the Pyromancer too, but I don't think it's worth that extra 1 point of damage.
This is just a stomach-churning feeling, knowing that something big is probably coming down on Billy's
I see a Sigarda.
Yeah.
Which will answer the Delver if it resolves. He also has a Siege Rhino. Yeah, he's just gonna go for Sigarda.
That's such a tough creature for most legacy decks.
Yep. I What even stops Sigarda? Like, I'm lost.
I guess it would have to be Terminus, like out of commonly played legacy cards.
Mm-hmm. Like, stuff like Liliana doesn't work.
Liliana.
Spot removal obviously doesn't work. It has to be like Wrath effects. So Toxic Deluge, Terminus, Supreme Verdict.
That's a very format-defying creature there.
And Billy's got the Siege Rhino to follow back up with to get out of burn range. Wow, Billy Button's really coming back into it.
Really bringing the green.
And if you think about it, it was only a couple turns ago when Jameson wastelanded Billy down to 1 land and had 2 Delvers in play. So that's really impressive from Billy's deck. I was not
Right.
expecting to see that. What was the sequence of events that he was able to come back from that? So I guess he
Just
he
casting the Veteran Explorer.
replicated 1 Delver, and he green sent for Explorer, and then he already had the big fatties in his hand. So the Veteran Explorer really just, like you see, like it just ramped him so quickly. Oh wow, that's another Siege Rhino. I would start to go on the offensive then. I would probably get in with Rhino number 1, have Rhino number 2 hold back on D.
I understand Billy taking a moment to find the right line, since he's probably home free if he plays his next move correctly.
I just put in the minor to look at. See, if he doesn't have a 5-life requirement, so much easier. That's what
main phase?
I'm
just, it doesn't have anything to do with right now. It's mostly oh, so you have to play it when his ability resolves.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the strong thing. I think that might work. Because it's Jordan. No, it's the 4 cards. With the throw though, I think you're showing. But the double drum is pretty good.
Wow. I don't think that Brainstorm is showing Jameson any good news.
Yeah, I can't think of what he could have to beat Billy here. Billy's at 11, can't burn him out. He's
It looks like he found a Daze, a Bolt, and a Volcanic Island, which is not what you want to see.
I mean, next turn you can trade double block the Sigarda, but the Rhino still got you almost dead, so it's really nothing.
Well, I mean yeah.
The only sequence of events I could see happening is if he has a murderous cut and then some other removal for the other Rhino, and then the trade with the Sigarda, and then even then it's you lose your entire board, you're behind on life. The other player has a bunch of top decks that brings you out.
So
But I don't even think he saw murderous cut or anything like that. So
no, he didn't. He didn't see a fetch land either, so that's his next 3 turns spelled out.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think it's pretty safe to call it then. That's really awesome. Hey Corey, you think we maybe could get an interview with Billy after this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he's talked about the deck a little bit on stream, but I think people would be really interested to see it, and I think he's had some good results with it.
Yeah, we've had a deck tech with him last week, 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah, I think I
ago,
might have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was this event, this FNM 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Six.
Now, I understand that Jameson didn't really have any ways out, but do you agree with that attack?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I guess his one out is Billy doesn't block for some reason, and you can bolt him. I was just thinking, like, what cards in the format that are legal could maybe have gotten him out of a situation. I thought of one. Darkness.
Darkness.
You know what that does? It's 1 black for an instant. Fog.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I've seen
So-
that in CH. Actually, it's a pet favorite of Corey's.
Yes, I actually really like that card. It was originally
That's a-
printed in Legends and then reprinted in Time Spiral. Fun fact, the foil for that's like some stupid number because it's the only card that does it, that does an ability like that that's in the color black. Hey Billy, you want to get a interview? Bob wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
Say what? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you said Bob and Diana are on, by the way. Billy.
Okay.
Huh?
He did.
I did.
Are you kidding me? Whoa, topical worst matchup possible. I didn't hear.
Hello.
First of all.
Hey Billy, how's it going?
Hi, Bob. I'm well. How are you?
I'm also doing well, and that was really awesome watching you kick that guy's ass. You were just like, ooh, game 1, you're like, Garuk Relentless? Okay, that's a good start. Ooh, Siege Rhino. Okay, I'm not dying
Yeah.
anymore. Or I
I
guess
know,
it was
watching
Thrag
that-
Test, then Siege Rhino. That was awesome.
I was getting flashbacks, man, and not the Past in Flames kind.
Yeah, that was awesome. So you've been playing this deck for like, I don't know, a month now or so?
Hey, Billy.
Sorry, I had to step away for a second.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, Garruk Relentless into Thragtusk is pretty fine in almost any matchup, and it takes me back to the wonderful time of Standard forever ago.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
Were those
are-
2 cards legal together? I don't.
Yes,
Probably.
they were certainly familiar faces from
Alright.
that time period.
Oh, cool. Looks like you were, so quick to wrap up your opponent that we got to see another 3rd match.
Apparently, they're actually just going to slam Vintage.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. So we'll have that going on in the background. Yeah, I guess I just wanted to, ask you about the deck. You've been playing it for like about a month or so, and like, what have your results been like?
So I've played it in 4 tournaments at this point. There was the FNM a few weeks ago, and I 4-0'd that. And then there was a tournament for the Time Walk at Squabbles, and I 0-3'd that because I'm a champion. Me, Paul, and another friend of ours recently went down to Virginia to play for a bunch of store credit, pretty much. And I ended up 4-1ing that. We all split top 4 and walked away with a bunch of stuff. And right now
Solid.
I'm 2-0.
Now,
Sweet.
what would you attribute the differences in performance to? Just simple variance or metagame or what?
Well, for the Squabbles tournament, it was I got paired up against Burn, and then Painter Servant, and then Burn, which are
Those-
all really
both
terrible
pretty
for
tough.
me. In Virginia, it was Storm and Fairdex, and then Slivers. And Pernicious Deed seems really, really strong against Slivers.
Oh boy, yeah, that's like one of the things that Crystalline Sliver doesn't stop.
Yeah, and
Okay.
thankfully it's really unfortunately my only way to deal with that deck once they get that going.
Cool. Do you know if there's like any list available, online anywhere in case one of our viewers is interested in seeing it?
The list that I based mine off of, I found on Star City. It top 8'd an IQ, just kind of went from there. I mean, we recently changed it and put Polygon's command in. And,
Oh yeah, that card looked awesome against like Delver.
It's all business.
And it's also really good against Miracles too, Half the time they're going to be hellbent, and then you can just like, make them discard their Miracle card in response to the trigger. And it also just looks like your deck is, just gas against Miracles anyways. Countertop doesn't do very much, and you have like creatures like Thragtusk that do really well against Terminus and the like.
And then there can be situations where Phyrexian Tower comes into play, and all swords your guy. I'll sacrifice him in response, and then get him back with Culligan's Command, or Marin, or Volrath's Stronghold.
Yeah, that's sweet.
All these tier 2 cards.
I wouldn't even go to tier 2, but I would say that that's fucking awesome. Alright, let's take a look at what's going on over here in Vintage. So this is a format I'm much less familiar with, and I think I can recognize the Black Lotus and the Ancestral Recall, and the Force of Squirrel is a Force of Will, I'm assuming. I cannot tell for the life of me what's going on in Rory's hand. There's like 3 or 4 cards I don't know.
The reveal,
or at least I don't know. Okay, it looks like 1 Dark Ritual.
2. One's Mirage, one's Ice Age.
Okay.
Wow.
The card above the Dark Ritual is a Treasure Cruise. And that really weird looking blue card is an Altered Brainstorm.
Okay. And then what about that red one?
Empty the Warrens.
Yes.
Okay. Huh. That's interesting. I didn't know. I don't think empty is typical. Based on my limited knowledge of Vintage, I don't think Empty of the Warrens is typical, but...
There have been a bunch of Storm lists running around lately, and they're all trying to... Since the restriction of Chalice of the Void, Storm's seeming like a pretty good thing to throw back into the format.
Now, can you give us eyes on what that proxied card is in the lands section?
That is the one for Paul's a Tundra, and the one for Rory is an Underground Sea.
Okay, thank you.
So, here's a question. He Inquisitioned away the Wear Tear. I'm not really sure the rule here. What if one side was 2 mana and the other side was like 4 mana? Like, can you still Inquisition it?
I believe so. I'm pretty sure, because you treat them as separate cards.
Interesting.
It's just like how when you Snapcaster one, you have to target one or the other.
Or how you can imprint onto Isochron Scepter the one side and cast the other.
Yep.
Well, but you can Snapcaster a Fused Wear Tear, can you not?
No,
Fuse is only if you cast from your hand.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I'll try to be aware of that.
Cascading. Do you remember Boom Bust Jund?
Yeah.
You could cascade right into blow up your opponent's board. All their lands, anyway. Well, I'm going to pass this back off to Rory and let him, by Rory I mean Corey, because they're right beside me, both of them. Anyway, have fun.
Cool, thanks Billy.
Amen.
Thanks for joining us, Billy.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Man, your deck's freaking awesome still. So.
All right. What just happened over here in Vintage? Why does Rory have like infinite cards? Like, what's going on over here?
I don't know. Just Vintage things.
I mean, like, what card did he resolve that drew him so many cards? I'm looking at his graveyard. Like, I don't see anything. Like, he's had a library going, I guess.
Well, the library only works.
We got a spicy one lined up for you guys next round.
Okay, awesome. You're gonna tell us what it is, or you're gonna make us?
I'm gonna make you wait.
You're gonna make us wait. All right. The tension will only make it that much sweeter.
You know how we do.
Yeah, I would have liked to hit
All right, up to 46 viewers. Hey Corey.
Hey, what's up?
Can you change the title of the stream to say that it's with Legacy Champion Bob Huang? Because then maybe we can get up to past 50 viewers.
Nate? Okay. Oh yeah, Jason, Nate, you guys have the feature match. You want me to say what now, Bob?
I was thinking maybe you just add to the title where it says Legacy, FNM, and HQ Games, and then maybe do like, commentary from Bob Huang or something like that along those lines.
Magic Celebrity Bob Huang?
Not Magic Celebrity.
Oh, okay.
I would accept Legacy Champion, but I don't know about Magic Celebrity.
As much as we rib Bob, he's right. There are people that will have.
Can I say the People's Champion?
The People's. Well, that makes me. I feel like that associates me with Belcher. I don't know how I feel about that.
Is that the guy who won with the lands?
Okay, so I don't know.
Oh God, I don't know if they know us.
I'm not sure if you're trolling or if you're asking an honest question, but the honest answer is no. The lands victory was out of the recent Grand Prix Seattle, and we are talking about the Legacy champs, which
Nate, I guess it's okay for you to be on stream and okay. Can I use
And
your
the
full
reason,
name?
the reason we think
what
it
kind
might
of,
be.
do you want me to use your full name on stream? Okay. And how do you spell your last name?
STURM. It's like Storm with a U.
Oh, that's cool. A storm with a blue floating.
Oh yes, Jason.
Okay. Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. You didn't update the vintage names. I was gonna get extremely excited about Jason on Storm.
Well, Jason is up against Storm.
Okay, but yeah, I know what Jason's on, and it's interesting as well.
Okay. Yeah. Going back to Gibbous M. I think it's also funny because I think so. Jarvis is the one who won, and I don't know why anybody possibly would confuse the two of us, except for the fact that we are both Asian, we both play Magic, and we both play Legacy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I think people have joked about me being Jarvis and vice versa. Ooh, what is going on? I see a Siege Rhino. That's not Billy, it's Nate Sturm with Siege Rhino. If my eyes don't mistake me.
This looks like we're seeing a repeat.
It really does from the other side. Another Siege Rhino over there for Nate. Jason, though, is going to be doing very mean things. Just extremely mean things. Okay, that's interesting. Alright. So, over there is Jason, is our friend. Interesting. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if I would call it Sneak and Show, but Sneak and Show Brew, I like that. Jason's playing Sneak and Show. It has Sneak Attack, Show and Tell, Emrakul, Grizzlebrand, the typical cards you would see, but it also has a few ones you wouldn't expect. So Chalice of the Void, definitely one of those cards you would not expect. And we'll see more as the game goes on, hopefully. Ooh, Painful Truths. Going for a draw 3 here. Oh. Eaten by a Daze. That was pretty big. And now something even bigger is going to come into play, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I'm not sure if Jason has the show and tell. Oh, it looks like he does. He's going to take it.
Hey, Sigarda's not a bad creature to put in with show and tell, but still facing down a very big threat there.
Yeah, you know what else Sigarda stops is Emrakul, funnily enough. I think Jason maybe went for the Grizzlebrand because you know there's answers to Emrakul, like you could have like a Caracas or something. Interesting. I would maybe consider blocking here because you gain 7 life, which is 7 cards. But it looks like Jason went ahead and took it. Okay.
It's up, whatever you guys decide is whatever it is.
So that's interesting. I feel like Jason actually needs to get Emrakul into play because he's not actually ahead on board here by that much. I guess if he's attacking each turn, he's gaining 7. So he's ahead by a little bit, but not necessarily that much.
Right, just having a lifelink is certainly an important factor.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
Hey,
here we're set.
by the way, Bob, if you could spare an eye for chat, I think, I'm not 100% certain, but I think Gibbo is actually referring to your match, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, let me take a quick peek. Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, I think that was the Open you won. And I
was-
think it was an elimination match, right?
Yep,
that
yep.
was finals, actually.
That's true. Yeah, I did race Grizzlebrand. That was a good time.
Or different days.
Okay. All right. So I guess I was wrong. He is. I didn't realize the life totals were 20-6. So I think Jason's happy just swinging for a couple more turns. And I don't really. I'm trying to think from Nate's position what he can have. Honestly, I'm not too familiar with the cards he plays, so it's gonna be. I can't imagine he has too many cards that deal with Grizzlebrand.
Gosh, maybe you should have paid more attention while Billy was talking. I'm joking. Do you think they run Caracas?
That would be one of the primary cards. The other main thing is just like Jason's
You
at.
guys should be in charge of keeping track of your life points. I have you at 18 and Nate at 6.
That rebuke.
And having that many life points means that he can draw plenty of cards, counter whatever Nate does. So it's more or less over.
Yeah, there are a lot of options available to the Grizzlebrand controller with that much life.
All right, looks like he's gonna go ahead and go for a Siege Rhino to try and stay alive for one more turn, and I think Jason's just go ahead and force it game 2.
Hey Bob, there's a question from a Richmond player in the chat.
Sorry, it's kind of hard for me to monitor both the chat and the live stream. Going to sleep with some Grizzlebands for Charlotte. Hey Chase, yeah, I'm definitely going to Charlotte, and I'm also playing Grizzlebrand, so pretty excited. Yeah, that's also talking about the proxies now. One thing you commonly see is a lot of people do have the cards, and it's sort of just like allowing unlimited proxies gives anybody the chance to, and most people do still want to play with real cards. Like it is legacy, like the feeling of playing with the actual cards is pretty exciting. So I think starting with unlimited proxies gets people into the store. They're like, oh, it's unlimited proxies, I can play anything, and then slowly they'll have the desire to build up and build up a collection, and that's going to be good for the stores.
I think it's tricky to establish that balance because you want the new players, but you also want the legacy enthusiasts that have been playing the format, playing the game for a long time. And right now, I think where the store is at, a lot of regulars and locals in this area that already play Legacy have flocked here, which is why you're seeing a lot of the genuine cards on stream. But if new players were to start coming, I think they would find the proxy rule a little bit more welcoming. I don't know. Hey Corey, do you know if we've seen any brand new players in the store yet? Like players new to Legacy, maybe new to Magic?
Yeah, we've got a couple in here. I think like 2 that I don't recognize.
Okay.
That I just looked at, and one of them looked like they had all their cards, and the other looked like they were signing proxies.
Okay. I know when I was there a couple of weeks ago, one of the friends of the owner said that he was new to Legacy, usually played Modern, so that was exciting to see.
Right, Gibbs, Bosom. I don't know how you say your name. These aren't sanctioned. Yeah, because I talked to the owner. What we're thinking about doing is bumping it up to like a 15 card proxy or just an X card proxy, and then at the start of each event, we'll ask if anyone's actually running proxies, because a lot of people here actually have their cards. So, and if they do, then we can actually fire it off as a sanctioned legacy FNM.
I know I was petitioning for my old game store down in Fairfax, Virginia to do exactly the same thing, and it was so close every time because I would probably say 99% of the cards in that room were unproxied, but we were unwilling to exclude anybody at the beginning of the night, so it's just a difficult thing to manage.
Hi, Buzz. What's up, guys?
45 minutes isn't a huge drive, in my opinion, but sometimes when it's like late at night or something, yeah, it definitely takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, it's tough too. Like during the weekday, you know, it would have to be, ideally, it'd have to start probably around like 6:30 or 7. And like, if you guys are 45 minutes apart, then, you know, ideally you could find something like sort of near the middle where it's maybe, you know, half an hour from each of you, but could be hard depending on where you are located.
Hey, Corey and I met playing Legacy when we lived an hour apart.
Yeah, we lived over an hour apart.
Yeah.
Hashtag total worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, like, was the first time you guys met, was it like at Curio?
Actually, so yes, yeah, the first time I saw her was at Curio. I was too nervous to actually introduce myself.
Yeah, like a total creeper. He spotted me and was interested
She was playing
in
League.
playing League of Legends. They used to have a computer set up for public use, but I don't think that's there anymore.
I remember that. Yeah, old school Curio.
Yeah, we pretty much met playing Legacy. The long and short of it.
What was the name of the store? It was in Chantilly.
Comics and Gaming, Fairfax.
That's the one.
I remember the first time I met Diana too. Actually, like, I think you were like playing Merfolk, and this was at Curio.
You were
I think I was like
Blue, White, Red Delver with Geist of St. Troft. I remember clearly.
Nice. Totally forgot I played that card. That card's sweet.
It's funny. I frequently remember what decks people were on more clearly than I remember.
When you first met.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, we got Nate leading off here with a green sun for a Dried Arbor. So we didn't really get to talk about sideboards too much. Looks like Jason's got a Chalice on 1. So I think that's one card that he probably trimmed. Because I don't think there were too many targets, especially on the draw. It does seem significantly worse.
But the turn 1 Chalice does seem effective.
It still seems good, so it's going to shut off Veteran Explorer, Cabal Therapy, Deathrite Shaman. You know, it doesn't seem awful. And having it in turn 1 is definitely really good. It does.
As we just see.
Yeah. You can play Siege Rhino this turn, right? Like, I guess he needs white mana. But he does have 4 mana, but he doesn't have white mana.
Well, it's incoming with the Phyrexian Tower activation.
Oh, dang. So he gets 2 black.
Gets 2 black.
Oh, he gets that is a sweet interaction. Turn 2 Siege Rhino getcha.
Wow. Playing around that Chalice.
Although,
getting there anyway.
I will say, like, you know, ramping a combo deck is generally not where you want to be. But you do need to put a clock on eventually. So, yeah,
you know,
gosh.
I think that we and the audience at home have not seen the long and short of Jason's deck. If it's the list I'm thinking of.
Alright, Jason's gonna go ahead and force the Siege Rhino. So that what Jason's saying with this play is like, don't have quite what it takes right now to kill you, and then the Siege Rhino has a very fast clock, so I need to buy some more time. I think I see a Vraska, so I think that is an answer for Grizzlebrand.
Oh yeah, that's a card that's
Vraska
very
the
powerful,
Unseen.
but we don't.
That is a card I've played in Standard, actually. I don't play very much Standard, but I did play Jund Monsters in the season that it was legal, and Vraska was really sweet.
Yeah, that actually
wow.
was a feature of my very first Standard deck, so I'm pretty new to sanctioned and competitive play.
Oh wow, and Nate brought in the Thoughtseize. That Chalice is definitely doing some work. So
More than we expected.
yeah, more than we expected. It does need to come down fairly early to be relevant, though, because once he's casted his card spells, it's not going to do very much. So my guess is he's probably trimmed them and happened to just have it at the right moment, but we'll see. So Nate was able to gas back up. I think he passed the turn after that.
Thanks for the follow, Waffle House.
I think Nate's plan is going to be really just to get a clock on, because it seems like most of his disruption does cost 1 mana, so we'll see.
Are we seeing... Yes. We are seeing the namesake card come down. Classic. Sigarda versus Emrakul. Unfortunately, although Sigarda does mitigate the damage from Emrakul, it doesn't stop hitting for 15.
No, it doesn't.
What are we seeing here?
Oh, we got Vraska.
Yeah!
Oh, wait,
There's
hold on.
the lady
What are the
herself.
abilities again? Does it destroy creatures?
Yes.
What is it like? Okay, I'm gonna pull it up real fast.
We have someone
Jason's a
looking in the
reader.
Is it destroy non-land permanent? Or destroy permanent?
Destroy target non-land permanent for -3. So, but then again, that's a colored ability, right? Well, what does Emrakul say? Is it colored spells?
Colored spells, yes.
Oh, okay, so you can.
That
Yep.
is-
All right. Well, I guess that's what we just saw right there. Is a Vraska the Unseen taking down Emrakul, the Eon's Torn. Gosh, I think the Oath of the Gatewatch should be calling on Vraska right now, just to be like, hey, like.
Yeah, absolutely. Get her in for some snake on tentacle action.
I like it. Wow. Oh, he does have Caracas. And that's game.
Yeah, that's
Wow. So this whole game, Jason had the turn 1 Chalice. He had the show and tell. Nate just was able to power through that. All right, Jason, what do you got to beat Vraska the Unseen? Gosh. So I'm thinking a little bit more about this junk Nickfit deck, because I always love brews. I always love new decks. And the more I think about it, the more I think the best card in the deck without question is Veteran Explorer. Because it's the card that's really able to ramp you into all these crazy threats. And I think
Sorry, go ahead.
So my thoughts are it plays Veteran Explorer, it plays Green Sun Zenith, so it's able to consistently get that Veteran Explorer, and then Green Sun's so good in this deck, like it can ramp you into Siege Rhinos or Thragtusk, like whatever point of the curve you're on, or early game it's like Deathrite, Veteran Explorer. So I guess Green Sun might technically be the best card in the deck, but the card that enables some of these quote unquote broken things is definitely Veteran Explorer. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with your assessment of Veteran Explorer. That enables the entire deck, and what the strategy it enables is so incredibly powerful because he gets to play these big cards, these high mana cost cards relative to the format, and so the power level is just completely outside of what you normally see in Legacy, since you're spending that much more mana to cast these spells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this list. I've kind of been theorizing too about what to play in this metagame. So I think someone asked me earlier what I would play, and I said Grixis Delver, but I'm not really happy with that decision. I think the deck is fine. It has some good matchups, but one of my priorities is always, go into a tournament, be able to consistently beat the best deck, and I definitely don't feel that way about Grixis Delver right now. So I was looking at different decks that could be really good against Miracles, and I thought Jund could be a potential option because it's good against Miracles, Shardless, the 4-color Loam deck as well. So I was thinking about playing Jund. But this deck also looks like it, fulfills those traits of beating up on Miracles. So yeah, I don't know. I might take a look into it especially if top, sticks around.
Yeah, now is it true that you are just kind of a rock player at heart, that you've always had some kind of fondness for these Sylvan Library decks?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that that's necessarily true. I'm trying to think back on the decks I've been successful with. I think Team America Bug Delver is a very rock style deck, aggressive rock style deck, and that was one of my favorite decks that I've played. So it's possible.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Team America. I'm thinking a little bit of 4-color Delver. And I know you're experimenting with aggro loam, so maybe you've got it in you, Bob.
All right, looks like Jason's going down to 6, and Nate will keep his 7. Can you see any of the cards? It's kind of hard from this angle.
Yeah, it really is.
Plans.
I see a planes.
Yeah.
Not really telling us much.
How do you feel about planes in this matchup?
Ooh, well, let me tell you, planes is pretty strong. It casts a lot of strong cards like Sigarda, Siege Rhino.
It does cast Sigarda. It also fulfills the generic mana requirement for Roscoe the Unseen. We gotta be really.
You've got that right.
We gotta be really careful when we say like colorless mana now.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, how do you feel about that mechanic? I'm very excited for it personally.
Yeah. It's like I think a lot of people have put it like it's like adding a 6th color to Magic without needing to like redesign the card back or whatever. So definitely opens up a lot of design space. They're only gonna have one set with this, so it's gonna be interesting to see if it becomes a recurring theme, like an evergreen mechanic. My guess is it's probably not, but I think it will recur from time to time. But who knows? Because Phyrexian mana has certainly not made a comeback.
Yeah, Phyrexian mana is definitely a hallmark of the set it originated in.
It is funny though, because like Phyrexian mana is such a. I mean, obviously it's a broken ability at heart, but there's so many Phyrexian mana cards that still see play, and it was in one set.
Right. Well, free spells or reduced cost spells are very good.
Yeah.
Start out with a lot more life when you have mana.
Okay. Looks like Jason kept on 5. Was able to make a couple land drops to start off with.
Yeah,
and,
he has
like
Sneak and Show in hand to start off with, because that's his business card that
he has Sneak
through.
And Show.
Oh, sorry, Sneak Attack.
Okay.
Thank you.
I've heard of someone like playing Cabal Therapy against Sneak and Show and just naming the card Sneak and Show.
Oh my goodness.
Corey might have told me the story. He was like, "Yeah, I named Sneak and Show," and then it's just like, "Oh well, I guess I'll reveal my hand and there's Show and Tell, but you're not gonna get it." So.
I'd be so mortified. Looks like a green sun for 0 there. That can only mean one thing.
Well, I agree. In this context, it can only mean one thing: Dried Arbor. I think if you had a Painter Servant out, you could Green Sun for an Ornithopter.
Or any number of other 0 mana creatures.
Shield Sphere?
Shield Sphere, yes. Phyrexian Walker. So it's interesting, in one of Jason's mulliganed hands, I saw a Blood Moon. What do you think of the role of Blood Moon in this matchup?
Blood Moon seems... I was going to say seems really good at first thought, but now I'm not sure that's true because Nate runs a ton of basics. So, could be very hit or miss, I guess. If you have it on an early turn and Nate just doesn't have the right basics, then you could buy a ton of time.
Right, it shuts down the dual lands. It shuts down utility lands like Phyrexian Tower and Caracas.
Oh, and here we go. This was Jason with the Brainstorm into quad lands. Nice
Or
ball
Nature
therapy.
Oh, it's show and tell. All right.
Yeah, the name was Show and Tell, but Jason just had a bunch of lands and was like, "Hey, like, you missed." I don't know if I like Jason's position from here, though. You mentioned he had a sneak attack incoming, so. Oh, Chalice
Yeah, I
on
don't
one.
know
Okay.
what position he brainstormed it back to. I guess it would have to be the next one down then.
Yep. So he's gonna resolve his sneak attack next turn potentially, and hope to top deck a creature the turn after. And whereas Nate's probably gonna try to get some aggro going with Siege Rhino, but we'll see.
Now, against Nick Fit, do you think Jason should try to resolve the sneak attack right away? A lot of decks in Legacy don't have a way to deal effectively with the sneak attack once it's on the field, but that might not be true in this case.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think he should hold on to it or try to play it as soon as possible?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think Nate still has a Cabal Therapy in the graveyard, and how many answers did we see to sneak attack? You know, we saw the Vraska. Okay, he's gonna go ahead and hold it. So I guess the really question really comes down to if you think he's more likely to have like, you know, Vraska or like Golgari Charm or whatever, or if he's more likely to have another discard spell, or perhaps Therapy the sneak attack, and looks like he kept it in his hand. I think it's working out for him for the most part, because I do see a Vraska in Nate's hand. Choke. Alright, looks like Jason has one more draw step to try and hit for his sneak attack. Actually, so this is going to get in for 5 damage plus a drain potentially, so it looks like Jason could be even limited in how much he fetches. Okay, no. Goes ahead and goes for a Maelstrom Pulse on the Chalice. And Veteran Explorer. And I think he's going to get in for 5 here. Oh, okay, he's going to flashback. Alright, well, let's see if he gets the right name here.
Be very curious to hear what the name is.
I think you can't really go too wrong with one of the combo pieces. I think it could easily be any of them, so I guess whichever one he's more scared of, which in this situation, honestly, there's nothing that really is unbeatable, because if he sneak attack Emrakul, like, he can still... What is that card? He does not have sneak attack? Oh, he does have sneak attack. Okay.
Yeah, Show and Tell was the card named.
Okay, cool. So now even if he goes sneak attack like Emrakul, like, I think Nate can still keep the Siege Rhino around and beat that. So I think he's, you know, in a pretty good spot.
Right. I think Jason's on an 8.
And Jason didn't get anything, so.
Hey, so Corey, do you have intel on this? Do you know that Jason was for sure not on the Kiki Jiki deck?
Why you gotta be like this?
I mean, yeah, we saw Sneak and Show.
Well, yeah, no, I know. I didn't know if he tried to cram both combos together.
No, I mean, I'm familiar with Jason's deck.
Yeah, that's what I was asking, because I know he was...
It's basically both decks put together. It's Sneak and Show with mainboard Chalice and Blood Moons. Impulses over the other 1-drop cantrips. But it still runs Brainstorms and 2 Misdirections, I believe.
Okay.
Did you want to talk about your deck on the stream? And also, Nate, are you running regular junk net, or I guess, are you running Dilly's build, or you're not playing red? Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot he does do that, doesn't he? He runs the what, 1 Taiga and
Yeah, he's playing Taiga and a Badlands, I think.
okay, gotcha. So what are the other differences with yours, if I could ask?
We're just doing like a Dryad Arbor in there for green sun package. So you have like extra discard. You got it. Toxic Deluge.
Okay, so more black focus then. Okay, that's cool.
I have to just draw Tabernacle, you said? Do you want to snag this for the next round?
Yeah, go for it. As long as I get my pen back, so.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah, you want to jump on here and talk about your deck a little bit? Oh, yeah, I was talking to Jason first, but we can bring you on after too.
All the things, all the people, all the time.
Yeah, we're doing it.
They're gonna hope.
So Jason's gonna hop on here for a hot second.
Awesome. Oh yeah, we're up to 60 viewers. Boom slam game.
I hear to catch some Bob Huang.
Oh, did Corey? I'm gonna go see what our name is in the stream now.
Hello?
Hey, Jason.
Hi.
How's it going, guys?
Corey, you misspelled my name.
Yeah.
Tell Corey he misspelled my name in the commentary thing. And also, actually, you can't even see it. Never mind. Okay, whatever. We can worry about that later.
Yeah.
How you doing, Jason?
I'm 1-2 now.
1-2.
Yeah. Got kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. You had to multiply 5 on game 3, which is always like blech.
Yeah. So my hand in the beginning just had Ancient Tomb with Chalice, and and then it was Force Brainstorm, which I probably should have kept it just because I had a Brainstorm. I could probably got myself out of it. But if I'm playing to turn 1 Chalice, then it makes it a little awkward.
Yeah, that is definitely some synergy.
Yeah. Anywho, pretty much it's a stompy-ish version of Sneak and Show. I figured I'd try it out. I like Chalice. I think Blood Moon's really good right now if you can get it out fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
But against Nick Fit's not that great because he runs main deck tons of basics for Veteran Explorer.
Yeah, agreed. I think your lock pieces are also like Chalice is pretty good against him. Like it shuts down like the discard, but it's even better against like most of the blue decks. So it's okay against him. It wouldn't be like insane. Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of underwhelming. Thankfully, the first game I was able to get it in, but unfortunately.
And that second game too, you're like, all right, Emrakul like should be pretty good, even if he has Sigarda, and he was like, Vraska the Unseen. Yeah. Oh man, bad beats.
Yeah, I was not expecting Vraska. I was like,
Would you say that you didn't see her coming and that she was unseen?
Oh.
Oh.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Too much.
Going too deep. But yeah, that was just the Vraska that was a blowout. I had a second show and tell in hand, but I just couldn't get another creature, unfortunately. But yeah, I enjoy playing the deck, and I think it's interesting. It definitely has. I don't know if it has any staying power or actually how good it really is, but I'll tinker with it. And if worst comes to worst, I guess I'll just go over to Sneak and Show. Womp womp. But
Womp womp.
yeah, I mean, it's fine. I don't think it's as good as it was anymore now that Death and Taxes is back in full swing.
Yeah, I think when I said you should play Sneak instead of Splinter Twin, I meant classic Sneak.
Oh, no, I know what you meant. But this was kind of fun experiment for me to try out.
Yep.
I enjoy playing it. Like, it's interesting. Like, Chalice 1 is just so good. Main deck Blood Moon is so good. But, yeah. I mean, we'll see. I might just go back to Sneak and Show and just try to jam through all the Death and Taxes and pray. But, yeah, it's a fun deck to play. Definitely advised. At least you can try to give it a whirl. I don't have a sideboard really made for it, per se. It's pretty much a very typical Sneak and Show sideboard, minus the 2 Magus of the Moons, just so I can just rush out Moon if I really need to. So if I'm going against like lands or something, to make sure I get it.
It's weird.
But yeah, it's a pretty sweet deck. Can't really complain too much. Played against Slivers, which I won 1, lost 2. Just Meddling Mage with 3 Meddling Mages plus 4. What are those things called? Phantasmal Images are pretty good. Nothing I can really do about that at all.
Cool. Yeah, definitely it seems like Slivers, like their sideboard plan, like usually they don't run Force of Will. Sometimes they have Force of Will, but they also just bring in like a million hate bears because combo is usually the bad matchup.
It's pretty much exactly what he did. He's brought all those hate bears, and then in the main deck he has the images. So like I went okay, Grizzlebrand, and he was like, all right, I'll copy Grizzlebrand. I was like, yeah, that's awkward.
Yeah, I think for most combo decks it actually is more effective to bring in permanents, bring in hate bears. It varies, but there are certainly quite a number of combo decks in Legacy that have a hard time with decks like Death and Taxes that naturally run a lot of disruptive permanents.
Yeah, that's a problem. Like, I seem to have that luck of running against every hate bear deck. So, post-board, pre-board, I might be okay. Well, not against the decks. That's by far our worst matchup. But other decks that take hate bears out of the board, I usually lose games 2 and 3. It's really can be really rough, especially with like now with main deck, Gaddock T, all those fun people.
Because you were able to use Phantasm images to get rid of Grixis. That was on Miracles with running.
Any other? You guys? Oh, you guys have any other questions about the deck or?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, yeah. Well, I'm gonna. Well, thanks for the follow. Blue
Cool.
28. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here and had to move
Wow,
on.
gosh, Jason, you should just do our job for us.
Well, I'll let Corey know that your name is spelled wrong, and I'll probably pass it back to him in a short moment. So thanks for having me. You didn't spell your name wrong. Isn't it H-U-N-G or is it?
Yeah, no, so it's correct in the stream. It's incorrect in like the title, like
okay.
Legacy at FNM. But yeah.
All right, I'll let him know.
Cool.
But
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks guys. See you guys later.
Yeah, I think it would have been funnier if he spelled Bob wrong. Like, how do you spell that wrong, Bob?
Yeah, that'd be pretty hard. Thank you for the follow, Norwegian in a box. Wow, so how many followers do we have now? Is that like 158? Is that the number in the bottom? Yeah, followers. That's pretty sweet. I don't know how many followers I had, but I don't think it's that many.
We can check out your channel.
Yeah, no, I haven't streamed, like, ever since I sold out of Moto, but thinking maybe of getting back into it.
Wait, what were you playing today?
I played Lantern Control in Modern.
Yeah, is that your Moto account?
No. So that was my friend Niraj. We were playing on his account, and that was god awful.
So you have 219 followers, Bob. You've been neglecting them?
Really? I have 219 followers? That's so exciting. Wow. Okay. Wow, I've been neglecting them, haven't I?
Yeah, you should have been streaming Lantern Control today. That would have been gas with
Oh
you
my
and
god. Oh,
Niraj
that actually
and
would have been like a really funny stream. Looking back, like, I guess Corey, you were asleep, right, when we were playing Lantern Control?
I think I was starting to fall asleep, and also sorry I misspelled your name in the title.
Thanks for the follow, Jace Player.
So what was really funny was like it was me, my friend Niraj, and my friend JD, and we were streaming Niraj's Lantern Control deck. And match one wasn't that exciting. We played against Tron and just got demolished and rolled over. Game 2 we were playing against Red White Soul Sisters with Norn the Wary. And game 1 I basically lock him out, and then I'm trying to remember exactly what happened, but through some series of unfortunate misplays and misclicks, he was able to win with 0 cards left in his library. And then game 2, we were under the gun. We were 4 minutes behind on time because I play really slowly. And we had him fully locked out. And then we eventually realized hey, we're gonna lose on time. So we literally just F6 every single turn. And the Norn the Wary player had a million triggers every single turn because he kept playing creatures and Norn the Wary and Genesis Chamber and all these Soul Sisters. So literally he was over 100 life and he was just winding down on his time. And then we realized, like, once it got down to like 3 minute mark for us, all we did was F6. We even stopped like monitoring his draw steps because we had like two bridges out at this point. He just like didn't really have any way to attack. And then like at some point when we F6 and it was down to like a minute, he like drew Perforos without us like being able to stop him, and he killed us.
Oh my god.
It was a very, very stressful match because we were trying to play super fast, and it wasn't even playing Magic really. We just like it was like who could F6 more.
I was reading a book and it was hilarious to hear in the background like 3 experienced Magic players fussing over what to do in this highly stressful matchup. I would just hear them like debating, gosh, do we mill him? No, it's time to just F6. Please F6. Oh no, what's Perforos doing
I
here?
remember overhearing a moment where I think you drew a card and just passed, but he had 12 1/1s out or something like that.
Yes, this
And
was when they
he
failed to empty their
tanked
hand.
and apparently passed the turn back without attacking.
Yeah, they failed to empty their hand for Ensnaring Bridge, which was a tense moment, but it turns out the opponent punted it right back.
Yeah, and Ensnaring Bridge just says all creatures can attack. It doesn't have any other text, does it?
Apparently not. I thought it did, but I guess I remembered incorrectly.
Hey, how if Arturo and Rory play, or whoever the other trio is, if we can get them on camera. Okay.
Oh, nice. We got a 3-0 matchup.
Oh yeah, we got some good ones.
Okay. Who's it? It's Rory and Arturo?
Well, the rounds are still going on, but we know a couple other 3-0s here.
Okay, cool.
Also, I think Billy's also 3-0 right now.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, if we could get the 3-0 matchup, that would be sweet. And I think Arturo, I know him. He's like he plays slivers, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And then Rory is on lands.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
interesting.
on the new tech.
We also
What
have
is
a
it?
request. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna ask like what is the new tech, but I guess I'll wait and see. Diana, what were you gonna say?
We have a request to see Storm on stream.
Oh, the only other Storm player here, there's 2 Storm players here. I think they're in the loser brackets.
Gotcha. Unfortunate.
Which means there's a very good chance they could be playing against people with proxies. Like, hard to read proxies.
Oh yeah, I guess that's the thing. I don't know. Like, do you guys have proxy rules, like, or not really?
Not really. No, like, this is still a
Standards.
really new event that's going on here.
Gotcha.
The one that... Sorry.
I was gonna say, it seems like some people, you know, even printed out paper and just like slap those in. So it's like those aren't really high quality proxies because of like the width of the card would be like different, et cetera, et cetera.
Correct.
The one player that used to actually make me angry over proxies was this guy that frequented the store I used to go to. And he would bring in probably a different deck every week that was 100% proxied. And these were black and white, poor quality images of the cards. So it's like they were highly saturated with a lot of black ink, but the quality was so poor. It's like they'd been run through the photocopier 10 times or something.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
I didn't want to say anything or be rude.
The thing that usually bugs me about those kinds of players is like they'll take forever actually reading their own cards. And,
I did not like
they
playing
draw
against
all
him.
the time.
He was not a good player and just like really didn't get much out of playing against him, but I guess it takes all kinds to make a local community, so, you know, just be tolerant.
Still sucks.
This tournament's moving along pretty quickly, actually. It's like started at 9 and we're about to get into round 4
Yeah,
at
fortunately
11.
everybody's pretty quick. Only
Yeah.
when you get like the perfect sword versus the perfect shield matchup will it actually take a while here.
Yeah, how many Miracles players you got?
We have 0 tonight.
There we go. That's what I'm saying. Fucking ban since his mining top will be good.
We do have a Grixis painter player that has the counterbalance top package.
Okay. I feel like that deck gets a bye because 1, it's cool, and 2, it's also a combo deck. So you can just win on like turn 4 or whatever without too much problem.
Oh yeah. It plays like a control deck with a combo kill.
Yeah.
It's very fair. I actually like his build a lot. I think it's pretty spicy. This is my dice bag, by the way. Yes, we have Paul Lynch, who's an excellent Stone Blade player. He's been playing Blade decks for about as long as I've known him.
Do the thing. What is that? A napkin? That's like a very intense napkin.
That's a dice bag.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like, wow, the detail and the color on that napkin. Where are you giving me one of those napkins?
Thanks. I thought you guys might get a kick out of my bag. I keep it next to the stream at all times because it just has all of my big dice
Is
in
the
it.
caterpillar pooping a rainbow?
He's farting a rainbow, and he's not a caterpillar. He's a fatterpillar.
Ooh, I see.
I think I enjoyed the word fatterpillar more than I enjoyed any other aspect of that. It's just an excellent word.
Ooh, no, I have not seen the new dice bag Arcade Post is working on. If you got a link, I'll take a look.
Oh my word.
What?
Bob, have you seen this new spoiled card, Oath of Nissa?
Is that
Yeah,
the
I have.
legendary enchantment?
It's the new green ponder.
What do you think of it? I am blown away. This is a thing of beauty.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So for those who haven't seen the spoiler, spoiler incoming. So it's Oath of Nissa.
Can someone link it?
I just put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so basically it's 1 green. Look at when it comes to the play, legendary enchantment. Look at the top 3 and put a creature, land, or planeswalker into your hand. Rest on the bottom, and then you can use any color to cast planeswalkers. So yeah, it's an interesting card because it does seem almost like a ponder. Like it's obviously has some differences. I think major differences are like 1, the color, 2, you could maybe whiff, so you just need to construct your deck to make sure that's unlikely. I guess 3, it has that extra ability at the end. I don't know how important that's going to be for legacy mana bases. I wouldn't say too important. Legendary enchantment, but because you get value out of it, it's totally fine. Just like playing one and then playing another a later turn. So that's a very interesting card. I definitely think that the power level could potentially be there. I guess the question is like, do green decks, want to be playing this card? I don't know. I initially dismissed it, but like maybe that's wrong. Like if you build your deck, like it's never gonna miss, and it's like a green ponder, so could be good.
I can't help but think this would have had quite a bit more power if it were concurrent with the Theros block. If I can think of quite a few constellation creatures that might synergize with us.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been too powerful though in a block that has a lot of constellation and only costs 1 mana and replaces itself. That's definitely very powerful. Yeah, so
Right.
like I mean the main thing it's not going to get, so it can't get another copy of itself. Obviously, so that's like an enchantment. You can't get instants or sorceries, but if you're playing green and playing lots of creatures, it seems like it could be good.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You can't use this enchantment to help you play the planeswalker creatures, right?
That's correct, because when you cast them, they are creatures. They're
Right.
creature spells.
Okay. That kind of sucks, but that seems kind of hard to template correctly if that's what you wanted to do.
Well, if you think about it this way, instead what you could be doing is you could be playing Little Green Men and then ramping into Jace, the Mind Sculptor, with all green mana.
How's your score tonight, Paul?
We'll have to see if that becomes a strategy.
Ugh.
In any format where Jace is legal.
Dude, my head's so jacked right now.
I have a hard time visualizing it, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of Planeswalker Matters type cards are silly and limited because it's like, okay, there's only Mythic Planeswalkers, so you're not going to really see them that often. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how limited plays out. Actually, I haven't played any BFZ Limited, but I've heard it's a good format, and I'm thinking about signing up for a draft league where I team draft Battle for Zendikar next season when Oath comes out. So
Just drafting battle.
So Battle plus Oath.
Yeah, okay.
I think the format is it like Oath Battle. Like that would be my guess. Yeah, and like we're thinking about like going to the Grand Prix in March, team sealed. I'm not a great limited player, but I can hold my own. And I feel like a team tournament is just like a ton of fun, even if we don't do that well. So.
No, Bob, you've been accused of not knowing how to draft by the one and only Jarvis Yu. What do you have to say about that?
Well, do you remember last year, Diana, when we were at Nick's place and I defeated the one and only Jarvis Yu?
I remember that was a very.
It was me and
bizarre-
Jason Ford and Felix, and we annihilated Team Jarvis. Team Garvis.
That's true. I have to say I was on Team Jarvis. I'm probably a huge liability to that team. So, not Jarvis's fault.
Okay, so this is vintage again, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Just checking.
Wow, I can't type.
I wonder if.
Perfect storm.
Yeah. Dana, have you played any battle for Zendikar Limited?
I have drafted it very limitedly. Ha ha ha. I've probably drafted it 2 or 3 times.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm just wondering. Because I know one thing, I haven't drafted at all, but one thing I did hear was, wow, Paul has his graveyard on the left side. I'm so confused. One thing I heard about it was that green was by far the worst color, so I'm wondering if they're going to like balance that out in Oath and make green really strong. I have no idea. I know they have done that in the past, though, like having one set be weak in one color and the next set be really strong in it.
Yeah, we have to get some talent on this commentating lineup to talk about limited.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely not. Neither of us are that qualified. Okay, but yeah, what do you think of this Leftern graveyard business?
Give me a sec. I'm gonna check on the dog.
Yeah, Bobby might be showing up sometime, by the way, to pick up his board games.
Oh, that might be it then. I thought Bobby was gonna wait until tomorrow, but that might be him. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing.
Guys, the same crap. Same crap. Guys, the same crap. Awesome. You have to play again.
I know. Unfortunately, treating them is just strictly better.
Hey, sorry guys, I'm back. By the way,
Oh,
Bob.
Yeah?
Not to purposefully annoy you, but I keep my graveyard on the left.
Not to
Keep my
purposely annoy
graveyard.
me?
I put it underneath my deck.
Yeah, exactly. I keep my library on my left-hand side, and I keep the graveyard between myself and the library.
Well, I was taught as a American Magic player, the graveyard goes on the right.
I also tap my lands to the left, so I don't know how much you want to
Yeah, that's
model my
strictly
battlefield layout.
incorrect.
Or my...
Another question, or not really a question, more of a comment. I just realized what that brainstorm altar was. It's of Einstein. That's genius.
Ooh, you're right. I see it now. I see the
Oh, you guys
resemblance.
playing? Okay, cool. That's exactly what I wanted. We got a spicy one.
Bundens and Jason, Jordan and Song. And Paul, you're playing Sturm.
Okay.
I think in the library versus library matchup, the one with Dak Faden has a certain advantage.
Does Paul even have a library? I don't think he does.
Wait,
Oh, he does now. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I was looking at the wrong stream. Well, Paul's library isn't even active though. Dark Petition, Tendrils, Yogwill, Rebuild. Not sure what that card is.
Treasure
Mox
Cruise.
Sapphire.
No, I'm sorry. That's a time walk. That's a time walk.
Oh, time walk.
Underneath the Mox.
Interesting. Mystical Tutor. What do you think is gonna get here? A recall? Dark Ritual.
Yeah, so I actually put my graveyard. I fan it out under my library, and then I put my exile underneath that sideways.
I'm highly amused that we're still on the graveyard topic while this game
This is really important to you guys. This is
We're
defining
getting-
standard.
getting
You know
into
what's really funny
match.
is next to the feature match area at Star City, they have little signs that it says like camera etiquette in bold print says lands underneath your creatures.
That's an official rule now.
Well, I think
only for professional REL is that actually enforced. I'm
Oh,
totally
good.
not paying attention to what's going on here, by the way.
Well, Paul's drawing 3
We just
cards.
get Treasure Cruise.
Oh, into an Ancestral Recall. That's a good one. Ooh,
Wow.
Library. Just draw all the cards.
What a powerful draw spell. What is this, standard?
Yeah, I know, right? Wow, this this Esper Mentor deck is really got all the wheels.
It's really got all the wheels. I've never heard that expression before.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
was gonna say, I'm pretty sure
That's
I
a-
win that.
that's a
one
good
there.
grip.
I have double-
Yeah.
I double messed up
Yeah,
too.
double this stuff's really good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I
Whoa.
win that
Prepared to deal with anything.
Fluster Storm too. Yeah, that's really. Because the next turn I can get to start down.
You know, it's so funny, like, what Mentor's done to Vintage is, like, literally, okay, I'll play 4 copies of this card, and they kill you insanely fast, and all my other cards will just be counterspells and card draw. Like, come on, come on.
I really laugh to think of that time period when we were still debating whether Mentor was good in Vintage. It was almost like
Yeah,
that
that is true.
brief and short
You know what that
time when
reminds
we
me
were
of?
wondering if Treasure Cruise was Legacy.
You know what that reminds me of is when Bob we won the Open because he was playing 4 Treasure Cruise and everyone was running like, oh, we're trying
Corey,
1.
That's literally what Diana just said.
Oh.
And you just, like, talked over her.
I thought she said Mentor.
Well, okay, but then right after that, I think she was starting to talk about Treasure Cruise. No.
Yeah, I immediately followed up with mentioning Treasure Cruise and how.
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally missed that.
It's okay. All right, what do we got here?
Yeah, that's
All right, so it looks like slivers versus lands as promised.
Arturo, can I put your name on the stream? Is it okay if I put your name on the stream? And how do you spell it?
Arturo.
Arturo. And your last name?
Casoni, C-A-S-O-N.
Gotcha. Cool.
I am all Guinea.
Yeah, Corey, I think it's like.
It's one word.
Oh, is it?
Just nitpicking.
I think you could,
So
do
does
it
that
either
mean
way.
I can name it in. I can name it in codename.
Code names, yeah. Meathooks.
Yeah, Corey, I was just gonna say I think it's really awesome that you are doing this whole streaming thing. Like, I think people really do love Legacy, and we were, one of the top, like, close to top 5 streams of Magic tonight. So that's awesome. Maybe if we keep this going for a couple more months, we can hit LSV numbers. He's #1 with like 2.5K. No biggie.
Well, that's because
we were number
he's
2
an
when we
incredible person.
streamed, sorry. You can go.
What? Oh, I was just fawning over LSB. I mean, everyone loves him.
That is true. Like, why does everybody love LSV? I think it's because he's like, A, he's really good, and B, he's not a dick, and he makes funny puns. That's what you gotta be. You gotta be good and have good puns.
Right, he just has this quiet, polite charm. He's funny. And he explains a complex game that he plays very well in a way that beginners can understand.
That's a good point. Yeah, he definitely does have, a way with words. And the fact that, like, I think, he's able to process and play very quickly, so that gives him the extra time and bandwidth to, give insights to the game while playing the game at a high level.
Yes, exactly that. I especially enjoy watching him manage his time while he drafts because he's able to immediately scan his pack, pick what his initial option is, and then talk through the rest of his thoughts while he may or may not settle on that card.
Alright, we're going to see a good start for Rory right here. Although I think it's probably going to need a Force of Will. Yeah, Expedition is one of the best cards in the lands deck. It really lets you play, quote-unquote, an unfair game of Magic. It's like, I'm trying to think of how it would be like in a regular deck. It'd be like saying, like, it's not even like you get, I guess you get like twice as much mana. Yeah, basically that's what it's like.
So, I didn't see that at first, but wondered how he didn't manage to resolve it, but that was a Force of Will we saw of Arturo.
Okay, so Rory's going to go ahead and go for a gamble here. He could be gambling for another Exploration or a Life from the Loam. I'm not quite sure. Well, it's going to eat another Force of Will. And so what Arturo is doing here is, making sure that Rory doesn't set up his block pieces. And his plan is going to be to get some early pressure onto the board and hope to finish Rory before he gets out a 2020 or enough block pieces.
In a little bit. Thank you. Yeah, good.
So Slivers, Meathooks is 3-0. That deck is pretty sweet. It's really good against some decks like Shardless.
That's good.
And it's really good against Delver too, because you're just like way faster, and Crystalline Sliver blanks all spot removal, so it's just very, very difficult for a fair deck to race.
Yeah, it is certainly very intimidating once that critical mass is reached. Thanks for following, Gormonks.
Wow, that's the third Crystalline Sliver.
That's quite a hand of Crystalline Slivers.
That is also the best sliver against Rory, because like I'm just trying to think back what cards give lands a problem. Nimble Mongoose is chief among them, and Crystalline Sliver turns all your slivers into Nimble Mongoose.
It's true. There's Tabernacle that helps Slivers doesn't run very many lands.
What's he going for? Oh, he's gonna
For the
drop
follow-up.
rotation. Okay, so he could be going. Did you say Tabernacle here? Tabernacle would be really good. If he doesn't already have it
one
in
of
his
his
hand.
options to manage what Arturo's going to be coming out with, which is more Slivers. Thanks for the follow,
Yeah.
Smile.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think Arturo I don't think Slivers tends to run Wasteland.
You don't think so?
No, because they have a 5-color mana base, so it's
They have a
pretty
3-color
hard.
mana base.
Okay.
I know some of them run that double strike sliver, but that's
wait.
less common right now.
Oh, okay. A little confused on what happened. I think Arturo drew before paying, but I think maybe he announced that he was going to pay. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what the trop is tapped for.
Yeah. Interesting about Tabernacle is it destroys, but it doesn't target.
Correct. It
so-
gives the creature an ability, so the ability
Exactly.
belongs to the creature itself.
Exactly. So Crystalline Sliver doesn't match up well against Tabernacle. Whereas, a card like True Name Nemesis or Merit Lage itself does match up fine against Tabernacle because you can't be destroyed. Or, wait, no, actually, no. True Name Nemesis doesn't match up well against Tabernacle, does it? I guess not. Because it's the creature's ability, so it's not the opponent's ability, so it does destroy True Name Nemesis.
Right. It's an ability that belongs to the creature itself.
Yeah.
Basic planes.
Alright, looks like Rory's kind of pretty tight on lands himself. Whereas Arturo has actually been able to make his land drops, so that's good for him. So I think Rory's build of lands, I believe he's playing more Molten Vortexes, and he's actually not playing any Punishing Fire. But we'll see. Oh, you got another Wasteland, so I think you could go ahead and maybe take the Cavern. Yep. Alright, and you see the Molten Vortex in Rory's hand. He's really needing a life from the loam, though. Alright, so it looks like Rory's just going to take some beats until he's able to find that loam. And then with the loam, he can Wasteland Arturo. Keep him under the Tabernacle. If Arturo's ever able to assemble, like, even like 1 or 2 more slivers, like, it forces Rory to have Merit Lodge right there, or he's dead.
Right, absolutely. Lands is not known for its quick response to creatures it can't target.
Yeah, exactly. Diana, what's your opinion of the lands deck, I guess, sitting from the other side? Like, I don't know how much you've played against it. I think a lot of people really don't enjoy playing against it because it's... Ooh, okay, so we got Rory. Rory has his 2020.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Arturo has like a Swords of
He has a
Plowshares.
Phantasmal Image in hand, but no way to get it into play at instant speed. Be a different
Okay.
story if he had a Vial on 2.
Okay.
I say playing against lands. I've mostly played against lands as Storm, which is quite a favorable matchup for Storm. So I mostly enjoy it, unless they manage to get the crazy sideboard starting opener in games 2 and 3.
I gotcha. Yeah, I guess it's totally different. you're playing a combo deck versus playing a creature deck. I just like mostly when you play a creature deck against lands, it's like none of your counter spells really do anything, and you never have enough mana to do anything, so it can be a pretty frustrating experience. And
Okay, I see. Yeah, I see what you mean by that.
and I guess my question is more like, you know, do we care that Magic is a fun experience for both players or just for one player? More of a philosophical question. I don't think anything in the lands deck should be banned. The one problem it does have is it's very expensive and not very accessible, but it's legacy, and I don't think that should really be a good reason to ban something from it. It's kind of weird. It's almost like the high price of the deck is also making it a lot smaller in metagame share than it could potentially be.
You know, personally, I don't have any decks I think of as decks that I hate to play against. The one exception is when I was very new to Legacy and felt that I was in a world that I completely couldn't understand. So I was piloting Rug Delver, which is a deck that relies heavily on understanding the format, right? Because you have all of these reactive cards to protect your creatures, and what you react to depends on how you're able to assess the threat on the other side of the table. So of course, not knowing the format, I was completely out of my depth. And I remember playing against the lands deck of its day.
Yeah, like the blue lands. Yep.
Yes, exactly. With Crucible of Worlds, and I remember getting locked out with Crucible of Worlds and Wasteland, and it was just so incredibly unpleasant to never understand how I could take a step forward. And that's the only time I remember being overwhelmed with like a desire to escape the game and just end it right there.
Alright, stop running around. Alright, no more
Okay, so I'm taking a quick break while they're sideboarding to look at some of the chat. Did you see the comment from Jace Player 77? Oh, Corey enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
Corey, you got
I'm
some
here,
competition.
Jeez.
Corey, you got some
Okay.
competition
You know
going on.
what? You know what, Bob? I am gonna take this opportunity to bring up a comment that you yourself made.
Yeah.
You said that being a girl who plays Storm makes me hot on paper, and then you left it there. I assumed.
What? Okay, I probably did say something like that, but
Yeah, you probably did. Meaning you certainly did.
yeah.
So I assume that means now that you know me, all bets are off.
I don't. That's my friend Steven. He's calculus, so he says Bob plays Storm. OMG, marry me. I have dabbled in the past. I wouldn't say I play it. I played in a team tournament. It was like Team Unified Constructed of Standard, Modern, and Legacy. And I played Storm in that it was during like Treasure Cruise, so then the Modern deck was like using all the Treasure Cruises, and I was using just like the Storm cards. And so I did play Storm for one tournament, but I'm definitely not a Storm aficionado by any means.
Was that David's tournament?
Yes, it was the Battle of Wounded Knee.
Oh, I remember that one. That was a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, it was a great idea. I think the Unified was like pretty meh, but having a team constructed tournament was fucking awesome. I would definitely consider traveling a few hours to play in another similar type event.
I remember when you were practicing tests, we went to go play at a diner or something, and you had me pilot Infect, which was a very interesting experience.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool.
I don't think I'm cut out to play that deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so weird how certain decks just speak to certain people. So like for me, playing Delver is very natural now. I've just gotten so many reps with it. But then for other people, like for you, I consider Storm a much harder deck to play. But then you get confused when you play Delver, and you can play Storm very well. So it's just it's kind of funny how different people have different aptitudes.
Yeah, there's definitely something to be said about an innate playstyle. Personally, I like to play
kind of more careful, conservative decks. A lot of people think Sturm is aggressive, but I'd say it's just the opposite. It's pretty calculating.
Yeah, I can't do all those calculations in my head. Can't count. All right, looks like they're about to get going here. Arturo is going to be on the play. Okay, so yeah, we didn't really get a chance to talk about sideboarding. But I'm trying to think, like, so Arturo doesn't have Wasteland, which is like pretty bad.
Gale Rider Sliver turn 1. That's the sliver that gives all slivers flying.
All slivers you control.
Yeah, yes, that's correct. It is a new format sliver.
Alright, looks like he didn't have the Force of Will this game. It's... I'm trying to think, like, because Slivers doesn't play Wasteland, like... Or at least I don't think it does. I'm trying to think of, like, outs
really
they
think
even
they
have
do.
to, like... Oh, is that Flame Jab? Okay, so that's the tech that they've been
Can
talking
someone
about.
link Flame Jab in chat?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure thing. It's a retrace card, and retrace being that mechanic that allows you to cast a card from your graveyard if you pay its cost in addition to discarding a land. Let's see if we can pull this up. There we go. Card text: Flame Jab deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Retrace. It is a 1 red mana sorcery.
Thanks for the link. Yeah, this card's awesome.
Okay, so that's interesting. That's what he replaced Punishing Fire with. I'm trying to think of like matchups where I prefer, one over the other, and I don't think I really like Flame Jab. I can see where it's useful. The problem is Deathblade Shaman is probably enemy number 1, or not really enemy number 1, but definitely a common card that is very good against lands, and I don't think Flame Jab matches up well against it compared to Punishing Fire.
Right, yeah, we were just
And, like-
chatting about this recently.
Mm-hmm.
The
And, like,
sorcery speed matters.
Agreed. I was just going to add, like, even looking at this situation here, like, yeah, he flame jabbed a Gale Rider Sliver, which was pretty good, but now, like, he wants to take down this Sinew Sliver, and it's pretty tough because you need to, discard 2 lands. If you don't have Loam going, it's not really a proposition where you come out ahead.
I agree, it's definitely designed to work with the functioning Loom engine. Hey, and speaking of which...
The proxy card's a Taiga, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, so it does look like he's able to get... wow, see, Exploration is just incredibly powerful card. Like, in another situation, like, he'd be behind on lands or whatever, and now, he's not taking any damage. He's going to be able to Loam, Flame Jab, like 3, or I guess maybe 2 next turn, maybe 3 next turn. Arturo is almost already locked out of the game.
It's like
Okay, but I think
you're
he
about to see Meddling Mage come down.
Yep. And I think you can name Life from the Limb here. Or I guess you have to name Flame Jab. Otherwise, you just Flame Jab the Meddling Mage twice.
Yeah,
okay.
I think considering the situation, even though Life from the Loam would be a more powerful card to name, it's...
Punishing Fire was the card named? Okay, alright. Card named was Punishing Fire.
Interesting. I don't like that because, like I was saying, like he's kind of locked out already. So I think he had to take the Flame Jab, but... I mean, yeah, especially, like, I like it even less, because it's like, if you name Loam, it's, like, doing something for a little
it eventually
bit.
stops him from...
But, like, now, literally, naming Punishing Fire, when you don't even know if he has it or not, like, it doesn't really do anything. Like, I think the Meddling Mage is gonna... Or maybe the Sinew Sliver is gonna bite it, because Meddling Mage is literally just a 2/2, because I don't even know if Rory is running Punishing Fire, as I was saying.
Thanks for the follow, Garuk. And
Yeah.
Okay, so he's gonna start
That's a
jabbing.
flame jab.
Yep, flame jabbing.
Second flame jab.
have to
And
move a
you,
flame
you
jab
see he
up
doesn't
on
even
your
care
graveyard
about the
when you
meddling
do
mage because he's, you know, flame
There's
jabbing.
maintaining graveyard order.
You want to get
You know,
fancy.
funny thing is like, so I thought the rule for graveyard order was that you could rearrange it however you wanted,
No.
as long as you're not playing any card where order matters.
Wrong.
But apparently the rule is if you're playing a format with like
It's the
Urza's
format in
Saga
general, you can't.
or earlier. So like technically in Legacy, like you're never supposed to rearrange your graveyard,
Correct.
which I think is kind of a silly rule, to be honest.
However, I believe the penalty for violating that rule is just a warning.
hmm I mean, I don't see anybody ever calling you on it. You know, if you don't have like a card that your graveyard order matters. Like, I think the only card that I guess there's two cards that commonly see play. One is Shallow Grave. I wouldn't call that common, actually. And then the
Nether
other
Spirit.
card would be Nether Spirit, and again, not
And
common.
neither very common, but certainly you see them now and again.
Yeah, and I think if you're playing Tin Fins or Manaless Dredge, you know, you should maintain your graveyard order. Otherwise, like, I think it's kind of a rule that doesn't really make sense. And because it's not really enforced, I guess it doesn't matter. But okay, so I think he had to have named Flame Jab this time.
Life from the Loam. What's that?
Life from the Loam? Okay. Alright, well, again, that's... It's not going to do anything. He's just going to Flame Jab the creatures. What's even worse is that Flame Jab kills Phantasmal Image in one hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can't really blame Arturo too much because it's like, you know, who plays Flame Jab, but I think in situations like this you gotta read the board and, you know, figure out what's going on. I think definitely in the blind, you know, naming Punishing Fire is totally fine, but after seeing what Rory's been playing, I definitely would name Flame Jab.
Yeah, check it out. Retrace. It lets you can discard a
Okay.
land card and you can cast it from your graveyard.
Yeah, so maybe Arturo didn't fully understand like how this card worked. Maybe he thought it was like a one-off effect. But now I think he gets it. So Flame Jab's like kind of interesting. It's like a Molten Vortex that you can't counter.
Why is this not surprising to me?
Okay. So Arturo found a Crystalline Sliver, which, you know, he didn't get through Maze, can't be Flame Jabbed. But even there, I think Rory's just turboing out. He's going to be able to cycle a couple times a turn, just dig for that Thespian stage to make that 20/20.
Absolutely. Having an active life from the loam and an exploration just gives him so much card advantage every time.
Yeah. 100% agree, and, you know, plus the cycling land, it means he's, you know, drawing, I guess, not drawing, but he's seeing at least like 4 to 6 cards extra a turn. Anything with lands, I feel like, okay, so like, I guess he's finishing off the Meddling Mage. I guess, wait, what's going on? What card is he trying to...
It's Flame Jab.
Well, wait, but I thought Crystalline Sliver's out. Is that not Crystalline Sliver?
No, that's Hibernation.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, we just
okay.
got a correction from our sharp-eyed viewers on stream.
Okay, well, I'm sorry I don't know the old slivers that well. Okay. So the other thing I was going to say about lands is like, you know, I kind of like the idea of having a deck like this in the format, like a prison deck that attacks from a totally different angle. And it's almost like, you know, fine that whatever, it's good against the decks I play against. But like sometimes just the fact that you're doing like the same thing over and over again, I don't know. Never mind. I don't really know where I'm going with this. I'm just kind of complaining
Yeah,
to
where
complain,
are
I
you
guess.
going with us? We
It
would
just
all
like
love to know, Bob.
it's a very soul-sucking process. Like, look at what he's doing right now.
You
Like,
know, I could say that of a deck like Dredge, but not land so much. It
yeah, I
still
guess you
requires a
know.
lot
I
of
think,
decision making.
yeah, I think you're right. I don't complain about Dredge as much because I can do okay against it. So maybe that's what it is. Comes down to.
It's really all about you.
Yeah.
Maybe at 18?
I'm pretty sure that.
Cycle triple. That's sport trip.
Still digging for that Thespian stage.
Land drop 1's going to be waste your 100. 2 is going to be waste your cavern.
There's only one page left, and you want me to just toss it out?
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, because I'll use it. How'd you do? Nice.
One's really good, and then do it again.
Yeah. We just got confirmation Jason won his last round against Grixis Painter. He confirmed Chalice and one's good against Painter.
Awesome. Go, Jason. This is really cool. Like, I mean, I guess this is definitely like a local event, so people really like showing up with their spin on decks. But I'm just trying to think like, I guess the Grixis Delver decks seemed pretty stock, but everything else was like Paul's variant of Deathblade, Warrior's variant of lands, Billy's crazy Nick Fit deck, and Arturo's Slivers deck. So it's pretty cool seeing cards I'm somewhat familiar with, but definitely not 100% familiar with.
Well, I think Paul, though, is pretty well known for frequently trying to see how he can test the limits of his deck list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
You can see him with a card or two out of place in the main deck, maybe something very interesting in the sideboard.
Found the Thespian stage, finally.
There it is. We can put Bob out of his misery.
So he's using Riftstone Portal to use Maze of Ith and Dark Depths to cast Life from the Loam. And he's gonna get his Thespian stage. I mean, it was this or watch Rory flame jab Arturo for 9 or 10 turns. So I prefer this.
Land drop 1 will be Thespian stage. Land drop 2 will be Windswept Heath, and we'll pass it.
I have to admit, I was getting a little bit restless watching this. Went and got Storm. I'm replacing these FNM promo duresses with foil Urza's Saga duress. I think it's a strict upgrade.
Just trying to find this name Destiny stage.
Yeah. Like it.
Alrighty, so that's Rory 2-0 with Flame and Jab Lance.
Is that what we're calling it? Yeah, I like that. Nice and snappy. Lets you know what you're getting into.
For 20 times.
Welcome to Maryland, home of lands.
I'm gonna run around here real quick, see if there's any more games going on. I'll be right back, you guys.
Cool.
You can play it, and that does turn off Flame Jab. Then I have hope to naturally draw the combo, and you don't have any kind of answer for it. Yeah. The other thing was like you can name Flame Jab with that.
Good night, Cal. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the follow, Guts. Guts.
Yeah, we built a following tonight, Diana. High five.
High five. Did you just slap your own hand?
Well, yeah, I said high five, but I didn't want to leave myself hanging, and you're in the other room, so I gotta.
That was very convincing. That was very satisfying. I feel like the high five was executed, even though I didn't participate.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. I think I'm gonna sign off.
Yeah,
as
that's actually gonna be all our games tonight, guys.
Word. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
We got through all the rounds. Yeah, thank you so much, Corey, for setting everything up.
Anytime, brother. For real, anytime you want to do commentary and you're available, like I usually post out on Facebook sometime before, but I'll give you a heads up if this is something you want to do more frequently.
Sweet. Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us from home. Hope you had fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good night, all, and Happy New Year.
Good night. And take care, guys. I'm gonna sign us out. All right, everybody in chat, thank you guys so much for working with us through our technical issues, for hanging out with us on your Friday night. Happy New Year's, everybody. We survived. I'm still recovering a little bit. A little bit of ibuprofen fixes me right up. Make sure to follow us if you haven't already on Twitch. You'll know immediately when we go live. Sorry, Jace. And also we have a Twitter account, which is @Snapcasters2U. If you tweet at me or at us, we'll know. I'll take a look at it. If you guys have any questions. If you have any other local events you want us to attend to, or you think we're going to miss something, let us know. Be sure to follow us again. There's a link for Facebook below, facebook.com/snapcasters2u. Pretty active on there, so if you have any questions, direct them our way. We'll take a look. If you have any requests, shoot them our way. We'll take a look. Our regular events are usually Tuesdays at Games and Stuff, Wednesdays at Kuro Cavern, and Friday nights here at HQ Games. Yeah, Jace, if you try to find it on Google Maps, it's currently under Chibi, CHIBI, Games and Comics, I believe. It's just changed ownership recently, and this event's really new. So the shop's currently called HQ Games is the name, the new name we're changing it to. Nomad, thanks for the follow. All right, guys, I'm going to sign us out. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Really enjoyed hanging out with you all in chat. Do we do Modern ever? There's talks of doing Modern. The problem is, personally, I'm not I don't know Modern very well. We mostly just do Legacy and Vintage.
Yeah, Sturm is a rough matchup. You can definitely win, especially against
Sorry, Cooper. We can. We'll likely be. It looks like we might be doing. What are we doing? Vintage.
Yeah, we're getting some more vintage on. We might actually be able to finish a game now.
All right. All right. Good luck, guys. Yeah. So it looks like we'll have one more Vintage game here.
We're gonna play more than 2 turns, so you go. Yeah, unless you want to get a game of a football shelf.
But yeah, if you guys want to watch the replays, I'm going to post these up to YouTube tonight. So make sure to, if you want to, you can subscribe to us on YouTube. There's links for that below. And you'll see when this video goes live, as well as all of our other past broadcasts. I just post them up there with timestamps as soon as they get pushed to YouTube. Let me update the text here.
Oh man, I love hands where you're like, man, if I just repeatedly draw pieces of power, this would be good.
Wonderful game of Dragos.
Yeah, but I couldn't throw away Meddling Mage. Fantastic. Because if you're on life, if you're on life and low punishing fire, I mean, it'll slow you up so much. And it's just like, okay, well, hopefully I get there, I win that race.
Yeah. Flame Jab's got a...
Yeah, that's Paul.
And something being released. So like, let's say
What's up, JD?
2 lands in hand. You can kill Deathblade Shaman without them being able to respond to it.
Okay, yeah. I'm trying to think what's open right now. I can go to like a fast food place and get you something like a combo or something.
Really fun. But I mean, it is especially since.
Oh, you mean like you want Chinese? There's a Chinese place. Okay, I haven't heard anything. I'm actually out right now up in Ellicott City casting. Oh. Oh no! I was saying I'm asking you what you want, and I can just pick you up something. It's fine. Okay. Okay. All right. And I'll just ask you then. All right. That's cool, man. Is someone there to let you in? Like, are you back yet? Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I'll give you a. Yeah. We're doing one more vintage game, and then we're gonna call it. Yep. That's cool, man. Well, I'll give you a call in a bit. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Alright. Looks like Paul Sturm is off with the recall. Yeah, thanks for the link, Snorlax. What's better than one Ancestral Recall?
I got a Nissa's thing. Yeah. Ancestral? Yeah. Ancestral. Okay. Those cards in hand. Okay. I think I'm going to resolve that. Yeah. That's very relevant. Still fine. What? Yeah. All the deck flipping happens. Yeah, I mean, that is relevant.
So my question to you is, what kind of foil Tarns and Deltas do you want?
Yeah, I've been trying to break in the modern. I was playing a modern display deck for a little bit. Yep. But currently with the current list of allies, it just barely doesn't have enough stopping power. Like, it's really strong when it's really strong, but when it's actually so it's like, when it works, it works. I'm hoping it's some good allies.
Yeah, thanks, Chase.
We got like 1 or 2 good allies. We got a first strike guy. Yeah,
Sure. Probably at 17.
cycle rebuild?
Sure.
Yeah, there's a hairband here. He's one of the green.
That's underground. See.
Oh, that guy. Okay. Yeah, he's not too bad. Not too bad. But yeah, I'm hoping for 1 or 2 more
billion garden. Yeah.
We get like one more that's like 1, 2, or 3 cost hits. Even if it's a common or uncommon.
Right. Something.
Good man. I like it. I like Starfoils myself.
For 1 mana 2/1, I like that guy.
I'm actually on the prowl right now to get 3 of the promo Lilianas, just because she has the Starfoil. Kuiper. By the way, let me know if I'm mispronouncing her name. I apologize. We are located currently in Ellicott City, Maryland. I stream from a ton of different shops, though, mostly in close to DC and Baltimore.
Suck for blue.
Okay.
Actually,
I've got 2 blue.
I really like including Mandrels. I wish that guy saw more play.
Memory turtle giving up 1 block.
Yeah, he's the 4/4. He's 4/4 technical. I think it's like 6 and a green with Delve.
oh, okay.
Actually, I really like him.
You have to.
I would love to be able to take him play, but
Yeah, I know. You did.
yeah.
I figured I had this opportunity. What I was really sad of, or scared of, was like if I go to crack memory jar and you're like Dark Ritual, Sapphire, Notion Thief.
Oh, dude, that'd be insane. I remember it's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I did play. Look at Blitter.
Anything
Yeah, I think I do too.
red,
Any number of spells here are really good.
like
Swing. Walk me
well, he does
Yeah.
Oh, that's underground city.
No, I'm perfectly fine with it because yes, it's 1-to-1. However, get more play.
Yep.
Actually, no, more like. No, I kill myself. I'm probably kind of funny. Really, Nate? Nate 1-2-1. More into the gate, but it's fun.
Wow, I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yep.
Wow, no, I don't know. I mean, my only my legacy deck is just
That's not great. Yeah, right there, like, when I first started getting on the one guy that came to I usually play games and stuff, and there was a guy who came there who always had the game. I always played on. Not a good match. It's not a good match. They put in 1 creature, and they go, okay, sacrifice the creature. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's your problem.
So like, as long as you invoke him all day.
Yeah, it's a creature. The ability is a creature.
Now, if you
They can't pass on
if you're a hard cast,
yeah, like if I have like Energy Infinite or Omniscience, like cast them, then they go, okay, I have my turn. I kill you. First of them show up.
it's not so applicable in this time day and age magic, but there's a couple of cards back in the 2000s, early 2000s, I mean, where it targets, but the way it's worded doesn't target, and it has
I'm very rarely dead.
I can tell by your two
I agree.
Oh, well, there's one token, so like 50 million. Yeah. Yeah, that's how like you get around. Like count says, yep. I vote for Marshall. Yeah,
Voting.
You can choose a target too.
In response.
However, you should choose my target.
Your mentor count goes back to what it was once you
Right,
flash
like
it back.
Yes, I'm one. And then it goes back to two.
In response.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
There was no way he would win it.
I mean, once ancestral again.
Oh yeah, once I get to draw 6 cards in turn 2, I'm dead.
And with all the fast like, here's all the cards.
The one time I
Alright, I gotta pack it up. I gotta pick JD food up on the way back. So. All right, for real. Second sign out, guys. Thanks everybody for hanging out. A little bit of vintage for you. Let us know what you like about the stream. Tweet at us at Snapcasters to you. Make sure to follow us. We're pretty active on Facebook too. We'll let you guys know what upcoming events we're going to be hitting. We have a little Google Calendar link down below too if you guys want to sync up with that. Getting chairs thrown around here. Getting rowdy. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us, and I will see you next time.